The coffin birth phenomenon is a rare and fascinating occurrence that evokes a mix of curiosity and compassion. This phenomenon typically happens in the context of a deceased pregnant woman, where the fetus is expelled from her body after her death. While it can sound morbid or unsettling, understanding the science behind it can provide insight into the complexities of life and death. The term coffin birth is derived from the historical context of funerals and burials. In the past, when women passed away during childbirth or while pregnant, their bodies were often laid to rest without any modern medical intervention. If the death occurred at a time when the pregnancy was sufficiently advanced, various factors could come into play after the heart has stopped beating and biological processes take over. What happens next is a combination of physiological and environmental processes. When a person dies, their body begins to decompose, and gases start to build up due to the breakdown of tissues. In the case of a pregnant woman, similar physical changes occur. If the pregnancy was far enough along, there may be enough pressure and volume from the gases in the abdominal cavity to push the fetus out through the birth canal. This can happen within days of the mother's passing. Historical records of coffin births are scarce. However, during various archaeological digs and ancient burial sites, there have been instances of this phenomenon being documented. Imagine excavating a grave and finding evidence of a pregnancy alongside the remains of a woman. Such finds can spark a myriad of questions regarding the lives, deaths, and societal norms of those times. In some cultures, there are myths and old wives' tales surrounding death and pregnancy. These stories often convey a belief in the continuation of life beyond the physical body. In this light, the occurrence of coffin birth could be seen as a symbolic representation of rebirth or a connection between the realms of life and death. The psychological aspect of coffin birth involves heavy emotions. Families left behind to grieve the loss of both mother and child may experience a mixture of sorrow and bewilderment. In times past, these experiences may have been interpreted through the lenses of folklore or religious beliefs, offering comfort or understanding in the face of tragedy. From a scientific standpoint, the coffin birth phenomenon raises intriguing questions about the body's resilience, even in death. Among the living, pregnancy is a complex interplay of hormones, bodily changes, and nurturing instincts. After death, the body continues to undergo changes, revealing new insights into human biology. Medical professionals and researchers remain interested in understanding how these processes work. Apart from the physiological elements, coffin birth also sheds light on historical medical practices. Before advancements in modern obstetrics, knowledge surrounding pregnancy, childbirth, and related complications was limited. This phenomenon could be seen as a reminder of the struggles and risks women faced in past centuries. Many cultures honored fertility, motherhood, and the miracles of creation, yet societal demands and medical mysteries often entwined with tragedy. In literature and art, themes of life, death, and rebirth have always been prevalent. These narratives often reflect human experiences, showcasing both the beauty and fragility of life. Coffin birth fits within this tapestry of storytelling, offering a poignant reflection on existence, loss, and the boundaries we encounter between life and death. Today, as we explore this topic, we should approach it with sensitivity, acknowledging the emotional weight it carries. It's a reminder of the very real and complex experiences that surround pregnancy and childbirth, whether alive or afterlife. Coffin birth may be rare, but it stands as a testament to the enduring mysteries of the human body and our understanding of life. As we delve into the world of biological phenomena and historical accounts, we realize there is so much more to uncover regarding the ways human beings navigate life and death. This journey through understanding can help us appreciate the interconnectedness of all life, the stories held within us, and the legacy we leave behind. By examining this rare phenomenon with both curiosity and compassion, we can foster a greater understanding of the human experience as a whole. Thus, coffin birth is not merely a tale of tragedy, but also a narrative of resilience, mystery, and the continuing bond between life and death, inviting us to reflect on our own stories and connections within the tapestry of existence. Rat kings are a fascinating and unusual phenomenon that captures the imagination and elicits both curiosity and intrigue. The term rat king refers to a rare occurrence where a group of rats become entangled in each other's tails, forming a cluster or ball of rodents that are unable to separate from one another. This strange occurrence often leads to speculation and folklore, as it poses questions about nature and survival. The name itself has origins in Europe, where the phenomenon has been referenced since the late Middle Ages. Historical accounts describe rat kings as mysterious occurrences that spark various reactions, from fear to fascination. Early literature and artwork often depicted these tied-together rats as omens or signs of bad luck. It is easy to see how the sight of multiple rats intertwined could evoke concern, as rats are often associated with filth and disease. The mechanics of how rat kings form remain somewhat unclear. One prevalent theory suggests that this phenomenon occurs when several rats become trapped in a confined space, either due to a narrow passage or while trying to escape from a predator. In their frantic attempts to flee, their tails may become knotted together, creating an entanglement that they cannot easily unravel. The tails of rats are quite long and somewhat flexible, making them susceptible to entanglement under the right circumstances. Interestingly, some scientists have proposed that these knots could also be the result of a natural grouping behavior. Rats are social animals that often live in groups, relying on each other for warmth, security, and foraging efficiency. In some cases, as they huddle together in their nests or burrows, their tails may inadvertently tangle, leading to the formation of a rat king. This idea reflects an instinctual drive to stick together, even when the situation turns uncomfortable. The rat king phenomenon can evoke a variety of reactions, from horror to fascination. Each sighting has the potential to send shivers down the spine of onlookers, as the image of a writhing mass of rats challenges our perceptions of nature. Certain European folklore connects the rat king to various superstitions, suggesting these unusual creatures were harbingers of misfortune or disease. These legends were often popularized in storytelling and became part of the cultural fabric surrounding rats. Beyond the folklore, rat kings have occasionally appeared in artistic representations. Some illustrations and sculptures capture the haunting nature of these creatures, transforming a natural occurrence into something more symbolic. In contemporary media, they have been referenced in various forms of storytelling, from literature to video games, often embodying themes of chaos, entrapment, and the darker sides of nature. In terms of biology, one can find various interpretations and hypotheses regarding the survival of entangled rats. When trapped, the group may instinctively attempt to escape as a unit, creating a dilemma. If a predator approaches, they may work together to defend against a threat, but if they remain wedged together, their chances of survival can become precarious. The cooperative instincts of rats, combined with their desperate situation, highlight an interesting aspect of their behavior. While evidence of rat kings is rare, when they do occur, they serve as a reminder of the complexities of animal interactions and the unpredictable nature of life. They reflect both the chaos and the beauty found in the animal kingdom. Those lucky enough, or perhaps unfortunate enough, to witness a rat king will undoubtedly carry with them a story that fascinates others. The world of wildlife is filled with phenomena that can provoke wonder. It invites us to ponder the different ways animals can adapt, survive, and sometimes find themselves in extraordinary circumstances. Rat kings stand as a testament to the intricacies of animal lives, showcasing the unforeseen ways in which nature operates. As we explore various aspects of our world, it's intriguing to think about how such odd occurrences can shape our understanding of nature. The idea of rats becoming entangled suggests a myriad of possibilities: serendipitous encounters, survival instincts, and the sometimes bizarre realities of life in the wild. This unique phenomenon encourages us to delve deeper into the stories hidden within the natural world, sparking curiosity about the behaviors and interactions of animals around us. In summary, rat kings offer a unique glimpse into the often misunderstood lives of these creatures. They challenge our perceptions and remind us that nature can be both beautiful and bizarre. As we consider the larger tapestry of life, instances like this add to the rich narrative of our planet's biodiversity, compelling us to embrace the mystery that surrounds us. The story of rat kings is not just one of entanglement, it is also one of survival, instinct, and natural behavior, highlighting the unpredictable nature of life's paths. The enigmatic world of these creatures continues to fascinate and perplex, leaving us eager to know more about the wonders of animal life. Lake Nyos, situated in the northwest region of Cameroon, is one of the world's most dangerous lakes. This seemingly tranquil body of water, with its picturesque surroundings, holds a dark secret beneath its surface. In August 1986, Lake Nyos experienced a catastrophic event that forever changed the lives of those in the vicinity and sparked scientific curiosity around the globe. To understand the extent of this disaster, it is essential to grasp the unique geological features of Lake Nissus. The lake is a crater lake, formed in the caldera of an ancient volcano. Positioned high in the mountains, it is quite deep, and over time, volcanic gases, particularly carbon dioxide, accumulated at the bottom. This underground activity creates an environment where the carbon dioxide can dissolve into the water, producing a carbonated effect. Under certain conditions, this gas could build up to dangerous levels, creating a ticking time bomb beneath the water. In the summer of 1986, a sudden and unexplained release of carbon dioxide from the depths of Lake Nyos struck without warning. As the gas surged toward the surface, it displaced the water and created a massive cloud of carbon dioxide that spread out over the lake and suffocated everything in its path. This gas is colorless and odorless, making it particularly lethal, as many were simply unaware of the danger approaching. The release was so powerful that it affected an area extending up to 25 kilometers from the lake. In the small villages nearby, thousands of people were immersed in daily routines, unaware that they were moments away from an unimaginable tragedy. Within minutes, the unsuspecting villagers and their livestock began to experience debilitating symptoms as they inhaled the concentrated carbon dioxide. Many fell unconscious and were unable to escape. Tragically, the gas cloud resulted in the death of approximately 1,700 people and countless animals, all caught in the invisible grip of that deadly plume. The aftermath of the Lake Nyos eruption prompted a major shift in how volcanic lakes were monitored. Scientists from around the world flocked to the site, eager to understand the phenomena leading up to the disaster. They began to explore the conditions and processes at the lake, focusing on gas measurements, water stratification, and the geological history of the area. Researchers experimented with various methods of degassing to prevent future incidents, including the installation of pipes to release gas from the waters in a controlled manner, which could help prevent a buildup of carbon dioxide. The Lake Nyos disaster also raised questions about the deeper geological phenomena that could lead to similar events. In the years following the eruption, attention turned to other lakes situated in volcanic regions, such as Lake Manun, which also experienced a gas release in 1984, resulting in deaths. This increased awareness fostered a global initiative to monitor lakes with similar geological characteristics and apply preventative measures. The incident left a profound impact on the local communities. Many survivors faced the heart-wrenching challenge of mourning loved ones while dealing with the aftermath of an unimaginable situation. Homes were lost, and entire villages were abandoned as people fled the area, fearing a recurrence of the disaster. The foundations of their lives had been shaken, both literally and emotionally. Geologically speaking, Lake Nyos and similar lakes present intriguing topics of study. The dynamics of gas composition and pressure in deep lakes, particularly those positioned in volcanic regions, can yield valuable insights into the behavior of natural systems under stress. Studying these bodies of water can help scientists devise strategies to minimize risk for populations living nearby. The event at Lake Nyos serves as a reminder of nature's power and unpredictability. Communities affected by the Lake Nyos eruption have shown resilience. Efforts have been made to rebuild and to honor the memory of those who perished. Educational programs have been introduced to teach local populations about natural hazards and the importance of monitoring their environment. This dedication to learning from the past and preparing for the future represents a crucial step towards safeguarding lives. In conclusion, the explosive release of carbon dioxide from Lake Nyos represents a remarkable and tragic chapter in our understanding of natural disasters. By continuing to explore the mysteries hidden beneath the calm surfaces of such lakes, scientists aim to deepen knowledge and develop safety protocols to protect communities worldwide from the unexpected fury of nature. The Lake Nyos disaster remains a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between humans and the natural world, urging us to remain vigilant and proactive in the face of potential hazards. Exploding head syndrome is a fascinating and rather intriguing phenomenon that affects some individuals as they transition into slumber. Imagine settling down to relax after a long day, your body feeling heavy and your eyelids growing droopy, when suddenly you are jolted awake by a loud noise that seems to come from nowhere. This experience, although startling, is not uncommon and is often described as if a bomb has gone off in the mind. In this benign condition, individuals report hearing imagined sounds such as a loud bang, explosion, or even the clash of cymbals. These noises can vary in intensity and may seem shockingly real, creating a moment of confusion and concern upon awakening. However, rest assured, these sounds do not indicate any physical danger. Rather, they are a product of the brain's transition between wakefulness and sleep. The term exploding head syndrome might evoke vivid imagery, but it can also cause a sense of discomfort for those who experience it. Some might find themselves worried about their health, believing that there is something wrong. In reality, this condition is relatively harmless and often occurs during the period of drowsiness. Research suggests that exploding head syndrome is more common among individuals who experience high levels of stress or anxiety. The brain is a complex organ, and during times of stress, it may react in unusual ways. When a person is going through a particularly anxious or tumultuous period, the brain can effectively overload, leading to these startling auditory experiences. Imagine your mind racing with thoughts and worries. It is no wonder that your brain might choose this dramatic presentation to signal a transition into rest. Interestingly, the phenomenon does not only involve loud noises. Some individuals report experiencing other sensations, such as feeling a sudden jolt or a sense of pressure in their head. Though it may sound alarming, many people who encounter this syndrome do not find it recurring frequently. For some, it may happen just once. Exploding head syndrome can also occur in tandem with other sleep disorders, but it stands out due to its unique auditory nature. It's important to note that it typically happens in the early stages of sleep, making it distinct from other sleep disturbances. It can be easy to dismiss the experience as a mere figment of the imagination, but it's a real occurrence that many people share. While the concept of a loud explosion inside one's head can sound distressing, the overwhelming majority of cases involve no further complications. Those who experience it often seek answers, and finding information about the condition can help demystify terrifying experiences. This understanding encourages individuals to feel more at ease when such unsettling sounds occur. For anyone navigating the uncertainty of exploding head syndrome, considering relaxation techniques or incorporating calm pre-sleep rituals can make a difference. Many find solace in soft music, gentle breathing exercises, or even writing down their thoughts before sleep to clear the mind. Tuning into calming sounds or creating a serene sleeping environment may help ease the transition into that peaceful realm. Surprisingly, some individuals report feeling a sense of curiosity or intrigue regarding their experiences. The brain is still an area with many mysteries to unravel, and exploring how it operates during various stages of sleep can be a captivating journey. Understanding the science behind the phenomenon can provide comfort and remove the fear of the unknown. As research continues, scientists and sleep specialists work to gather data on this peculiar occurrence. Learning more about the mechanisms of exploding head syndrome contributes to the broader understanding of sleep and auditory processing. The information may unlock new pathways to comprehend how the brain interacts with our sensory experiences, even during times of rest. Though it might seem strange to contemplate a syndrome named after the concept of explosions, this benign condition serves as a reminder of the complex relationship between our minds and the world around us. It is a fascinating glimpse into the brain's behavior, particularly when you consider the multitude of factors that influence dreaming and waking. As we observe our nightly rituals and prepare to step into the land of dreams, it's essential to remember that while exploding head syndrome can be unexpected and a bit startling, it is a part of the incredible symphony of sounds that our brains might conjure during moments of transition. With awareness and understanding, the experience can transform from a source of fear into a curious note in the ongoing concert of life. Therefore, as you close your eyes and let your mind unwind, know that you are part of a shared human experience. The brain may surprise you, but it is all a part of the wondrous journey that awaits us in rest, filled with creativity, mystery, and the uncanny. So, the next time you encounter an imagined explosion, allow yourself to embrace the intrigue and marvel at the complexities of the mind as it drifts into the unknown. Morgellons disease is a term that has sparked considerable interest and controversy within the realms of medicine and personal health. This condition is most notably characterized by individuals reporting the experience of unusual fibers emerging from their skin, along with a range of other symptoms. While some people describe their experiences in detail, the medical community remains divided on how to classify and treat this phenomenon. The symptoms commonly associated with Morgellons include skin lesions, a sensation of crawling or biting on or under the skin, and fatigue. People often describe feelings of discomfort that can sometimes worsen over time. While these experiences can be quite distressing, the underlying causes remain elusive. Many individuals affected by Morgellons report that they have become increasingly isolated due to the lack of understanding from medical professionals when discussing their symptoms. What adds to the complexity of Morgellons is the appearance of fibers, threads, or particulate matter that some people claim can be seen protruding from their skin. These fibers can vary in color and texture, adding to the intrigue and mystery surrounding the condition. For many, the presence of these fibers can feel like a tangible manifestation of their suffering, leading to intense feelings of anxiety and frustration. The discussions surrounding Morgellons often delve into various hypotheses about its origins. Some experts suggest that the symptoms could be related to a dermatological issue or an infectious process, while others lean towards psychological explanations. The term delusional parasitosis is often mentioned, which refers to a condition where individuals believe they are infested with parasites, despite the lack of any medical evidence. This perspective, however, can lead to further stigmatization of those who experience Morgellons, causing frustration for those seeking validation and understanding. Research into Morgellons has been limited, but some studies have attempted to unveil patterns or underlying mechanisms of the condition. It has been suggested that Morgellons may correlate with other health issues, such as Lyme disease or other tick-borne illnesses. However, the connection remains tentative and contentious. In recent years, the advent of social media and online forums has provided a platform for those experiencing Morgellons to connect with one another. These communities often share stories, offer support, and exchange strategies for coping with their symptoms. This social connection can be invaluable, as many individuals report feeling isolated in their experiences. The shared narratives can sometimes serve as a form of therapeutic relief, coupled with a collective desire for answers and acknowledgement. There is also an emerging interest in exploring the psychological aspects of Morgellons. Some researchers are studying the impact of mental health on the reporting of physical symptoms, recognizing that stress, anxiety, and depression may amplify the perception of discomfort. Understanding these correlations could lead to more comprehensive approaches to treatment and support. Treatment options for those who identify with Morgellons vary significantly, given the diverse range of symptoms and the absence of a unified understanding of the condition. Some people seek out dermatological care, while others explore alternative therapies. This might include nutritional changes, supplementation, or holistic healing strategies. The path one chooses is often influenced by a quest for relief from the distressing symptoms and a desire to reclaim a sense of normalcy. In recent years, the conversation around Morgellons has started to include a focus on the need for compassionate care. Advocates emphasize that acknowledging the lived experiences of individuals is crucial, regardless of the prevailing medical opinions. This approach encourages a more empathetic and supportive healthcare environment, where practitioners listen and validate the concerns of those affected. The exploration of Morgellons continues to represent challenges and opportunities within the field of healthcare. As researchers delve deeper into this condition, the hope is to unravel the complexities surrounding Morgellons, paving the way for clearer understanding and effective support for those navigating this experience. In conclusion, Morgellons disease remains a topic that elicits a wide range of emotions and opinions. It serves as a reminder of the intricacies of human health and the importance of compassion in addressing unexplained conditions. As we continue to investigate and discuss Morgellons, the aim should be to foster a conversation that empowers individuals, encourages research, and seeks to understand the seemingly mysterious connections between mind, body, and experience. In the remarkable and often bizarre world of nature, there lies a phenomenon that captures the imagination and curiosity of many: zombie snails. Yes, you heard that right. Zombie snails. These creatures showcase an extraordinary relationship between a parasite and its host that creates a surreal narrative of life and survival. To set the stage, let's first meet our protagonist, the common garden snail. This humble mollusk might appear unassuming, but it plays a crucial role in a dramatic tale of invasion and manipulation. Enter the parasite known as the lancet liver fluke, a fascinating organism that affects the snail in ways that seem almost scripted for a movie plot. When a snail becomes infected with this fluke, an astonishing transformation begins to unfold. Once the fluke invades the snail's body, it begins to manipulate the behavior of its host. The snail, which typically keeps a low profile and stays hidden among foliage, starts acting in ways that are downright unnatural. Imagine a shy person suddenly taking center stage at a concert. That's precisely what this snail experiences. The effects of this parasite compel the snail to venture out into open areas where it becomes much more visible to potential predators. But why would a parasite want its host to be more conspicuous? The answer lies in the fluke's life cycle. After establishing itself within the snail, the fluke wants to reach its next host, which is usually a grazing animal like a sheep or a cow. By altering the snail's behavior to attract birds, which are the fluke's preferred definitive hosts, the parasite ensures its own survival and continuation. It's fascinating to note the specific changes in the snail's behavior. Infected snails are more likely to crawl into bright sunlight, where they are more easily spotted by birds. They may also develop a certain shimmer, making them appear more appealing to their feathered predators. Picture this snail, once cautious and reserved, now basking gloriously under the sun, completely under the influence of its parasitic invader. Research has shown that infected snails may even exhibit altered movements. Instead of the slow, leisurely pace typical of these creatures, they can become erratic in their movements, drawing more attention. You might see a snail that should be tucked away in the shadows, darting across an open area, deliberately increasing its chances of being spotted by a bird. This bizarre behavior is all part of an evolutionary strategy, one that ensures the fluke's life cycle continues, despite the risks to the snail's own well-being. But how does this interaction serve as a reminder of nature's complexity? It challenges our understanding of predation and survival. The snail, in its altered state, becomes a pawn in the grander game of life. It's a vivid representation of how intertwined life forms can be, each influencing the other in ways that may seem strange, but are essential for their respective existences. Even more intriguing is the potential for the fluke's influence to extend beyond just physical behaviors. There's ongoing research into how parasites can affect the neurological functions of their hosts. In the case of zombie snails, the fluke may alter the snail's brain chemistry, leading to these dramatic behavioral shifts. It raises questions about the nature of free will and how much control one organism can exert over another. Fascinating topics to ponder. This relationship between the lancet liver fluke and the snail also serves as an example of the delicate balance that exists in ecosystems. Every organism plays a role, and sometimes that role can lead to unexpected outcomes. It is a vivid illustration of life's interconnections, where the well-being of one can drastically affect another. Human choices, too, are interconnected with the environment, reminding us to consider how our actions affect others, both seen and unseen. As researchers study these remarkable interactions, they gain insights not just into the lives of these snails, but into the broader implications of parasitism and its impact on biodiversity. The concept of one organism controlling another opens doors to understanding the ecological webs that bind life together. In conclusion, the story of zombie snails is one of the many extraordinary examples found in nature. Their transformation from humble garden snails to creatures ensnared by a savvy parasite is not only captivating, but also highlights the complex relationships that govern our natural world. Nature never ceases to amaze us with its mysteries, and the saga of the zombie snail is a brilliant testament to the surprising and often perplexing ways in which life evolves and adapts. Each twist and turn reminds us of the endless wonders that await our exploration, urging us to look deeper into the wonders that exist all around us. Imagine a night where you are drifting between dreams and reality, only to find yourself wide awake, yet completely immobilized. This strange experience is known as sleep paralysis. It often strikes suddenly, leaving the individual in a perplexing state between sleeping and waking. While it might sound like a scene from a thriller movie, sleep paralysis is a very real phenomenon that many people encounter at least once in their lives. During sleep paralysis, a person may be conscious of their surroundings but feels a weight on their chest, making it impossible to move or speak. This sensation can be incredibly disconcerting, especially since the mind is aware, and yet the body remains unresponsive. Imagine lying in bed, fully aware of the room, but feeling like you are trapped inside your own body. Some even report feeling as though an unseen presence is in the room with them, intensifying the fear and confusion. Historically, descriptions of sleep paralysis have permeated cultures worldwide. In many parts of the world, people have sought to understand this experience through folklore and myth. In certain communities, it has been attributed to malevolent spirits or supernatural forces gripping the individual while they sleep. This has led to fascinating tales of shadowy figures and ominous presences that enhance the mystique surrounding sleep paralysis. From a scientific perspective, sleep paralysis occurs during transitions in and out of REM sleep. During REM sleep, our bodies typically experience atonia, a natural paralysis that prevents us from acting out our dreams. However, if you awake before this atonia subsides, it can lead to the bewildering sensation of being awake but unable to move. This phenomenon is most likely to occur when a person is sleep-deprived, experiences irregular sleep patterns, or during periods of heightened stress. It's important to understand that sleep paralysis is not harmful, despite being frightening. Many people report only experiencing it a few times in their lives, while some may go through it more frequently. In either case, it is often accompanied by the sensation of pressure in the chest or the feeling of impending doom, which can amplify the frightening experience. Some studies have suggested that more than 8% of the population has had at least one episode of sleep paralysis. Interestingly, it often occurs alongside conditions such as narcolepsy, anxiety disorders, or even as a side effect of certain medications. For those who experience it regularly, keeping a consistent sleep schedule and ensuring good sleep hygiene can help mitigate the occurrence. Some individuals have even found solace in sharing their experiences, feeling a sense of relief to learn they are not alone. Online forums and support groups allow people to discuss their fears and experiences, fostering a community that seeks to demystify what can feel like a deeply personal event. It's fascinating how the shared human experience can connect people, even around something as puzzling and enigmatic as sleep paralysis. While it is often shrouded in fear and misunderstanding, sleep paralysis can also become a space for exploration and understanding of our own minds. Some people attempt to harness the experience as a form of lucid dreaming, finding ways to consciously explore their dream states once they learn to overcome their initial panic. By reframing the experience, individuals turn a typically frightful event into a unique opportunity for creativity and exploration. Encountering sleep paralysis might lead you to questions about consciousness and the nature of reality itself. What does it mean to be aware, yet unresponsive? How does our brain navigate between the realms of sleep and wakefulness? These questions can inspire a deeper inquiry into the mysteries of the human mind and the sleep states we often take for granted. The world of sleep is undoubtedly filled with wonder and complexity, and sleep paralysis stands out as a particularly intriguing aspect of this exploration. It serves as a reminder that our experiences during the night can sometimes be as vivid and alive as those we have during the day. With various cultural interpretations and scientific explanations, sleep paralysis continues to be an area of interest for many researchers, psychologists, and curious minds alike. In conclusion, as we navigate the realms of our own consciousness, sleep paralysis invites us to explore not just the phenomena of our sleep, but also the rich tapestry of human experience that spans cultures and disciplines. The journey through our sleep states becomes a continuous interplay of awareness, mystery, and the uncanny. So the next time you find yourself lying still, know that you are part of a larger narrative that connects each of us in our exploration of rest and the mind's fascinating complexities. In the early 20th century, the quest for modern engineering marvels led to the construction of iconic bridges that spanned vast distances. Among these structures, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, located in Washington State, emerged as a beacon of innovation. Completed in 1927, this bridge was described as beautiful, with its sweeping lines and elegant design. However, the bridge would soon become notorious for an event that would capture the attention of engineers and the public alike. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge, also known as, quote, Galloping Gertie, was designed to withstand the forces of wind, but it quickly became apparent that the engineers had underestimated the complex interactions between wind and the bridge's structure. The bridge was an impressive feat, stretching nearly a mile across the narrow strait, but it was not without its vulnerabilities. In the years following its completion, peculiar behavior began to manifest, especially during windy conditions. Many spectators were captivated by the way the bridge swayed and undulated, leading to its playful nickname. On November 7, 1940, a significant storm swept across the region, unleashing strong winds that would test the limits of the bridge's design. As the gusts picked up, they created a phenomenon known as aeroelastic flutter, where the bridge's structure began to resonate in an unpredictable and destructive manner. This interaction between wind and the bridge's shape caused it to move in ways that were both mesmerizing and alarming. Observers watched in awe and horror as the bridge started to oscillate, twisting and turning dramatically against the backdrop of the tumultuous sky. The situation escalated quickly. Despite the bridge's intended safety measures, the wind-induced vibrations reached a critical point, and the bridge was unable to cope with the forces acting upon it. As the oscillations intensified, sections of the bridge began to break apart. In a matter of moments, the bridge collapsed into the water below, leaving behind the wreckage of what was once a marvel of modern engineering. The images of the bridge crumbling, captured on film by curious onlookers, have since become iconic representations of the incident, showcasing the limits of engineering at that time. The aftermath of the collapse was significant, sparking a great deal of discussion and reevaluation in the engineering community. As experts examined the bridge's designs and the factors that contributed to its failure, they uncovered critical insights into aeroelastic phenomena. The Tacoma Narrows disaster became a pivotal learning opportunity. Engineers had not fully grasped the complexities of wind behavior and its impact on large structures. This event highlighted the importance of considering dynamic forces when designing bridges and other tall structures. In subsequent years, the lessons learned from the Tacoma Narrows Bridge led to advancements in engineering practices, particularly in the fields of structural analysis and aerodynamics. Engineers began utilizing wind tunnels and more sophisticated modeling techniques to predict how structures would respond to environmental forces. This evolution in design methodology contributed to improved safety standards for bridges built thereafter. Today, the story of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge is not just about failure, but also about resilience and innovation. The lessons that emerged from this dramatic event have significantly informed the design of modern bridges around the world. Engineers now incorporate advanced materials and technologies to prevent similar incidents, ensuring that bridges remain safe and reliable for the public. The legacy of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge serves as a reminder of the delicate relationship between nature and human engineering. It teaches us the importance of humility in the face of natural forces and the ongoing need for innovation. Each new bridge stands as a testament to the strides made in understanding the intricate dynamics of structures, informed by past lessons. As we traverse the bridges of today, we carry with us the knowledge gained from historical events. The daring designs that grace our horizons are not just feats of aesthetics. They are the result of years of research, experimentation, and growth. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge, with its dramatic collapse, spurred a multitude of advancements in engineering that have helped to shape the skyways and byways we use today. Its story remains etched in the annals of engineering history, a powerful lesson in the interplay of design, nature, and human ingenuity. Colony collapse disorder, often referred to as CCD, is a phenomenon that has raised alarm bells among beekeepers, scientists, and environmentalists alike. It describes the mysterious and sudden disappearance of honeybee colonies, where the adult bees seem to vanish, leaving behind the queen, the young bees, and the honey stores. This topic weaves a complex narrative involving the vital role honeybees play in our ecosystem and agriculture, making it an intriguing subject to explore. To understand the significance of this phenomenon, let's first delve into the lives of honeybees. These remarkable insects live in organized colonies that can contain anywhere from several thousand to over 60,000 bees. Each bee has a specific role. Workers gather food, care for the young, and maintain the hive, while drones mate with the queen, and the queen's primary function is to lay eggs. This social structure is one of the reasons why bees are so effective at pollinating flowers and crops, influencing food production worldwide. Honeybees are responsible for pollinating around 1/3 of the food we eat. Fruits, nuts, and vegetables, among other crops, rely heavily on their pollination. Imagine biting into an apple, a blueberry, or a pumpkin pie. These tasty treats owe their existence to these industrious pollinators. Without honeybees, our diets would be dramatically different, nothing like the colorful array of choices we enjoy today. The onset of colony collapse disorder was first noted in 2006, leading to widespread concern about the sustainability of bee populations. Beekeepers began reporting dramatic declines in their colonies, with factors varying from loss of bee populations to unusually low numbers of adult honeybees. While CCD is distinguished by the sudden absence of bees, researchers soon realized that various factors contribute to this phenomenon, making it a multifaceted issue. One of the prime suspects in this mystery is pesticides, particularly neonicotinoids, which are widely used in agriculture. These chemicals can affect bees' foraging habits, navigation skills, and overall health. Imagine trying to find your way home in an unfamiliar city without a map or GPS. This is what the exposure to certain pesticides does to honeybees, leaving them confused and unable to return to their hives. Another culprit is habitat loss. Urbanization, Agriculture and other human activities reduce the number of flowering plants available to bees. Bees thrive in environments rich with diverse plants that provide food sources throughout the year. When these habitats shrink, bees struggle to find sufficient nutrition. A diverse array of flowers ensures they have access to different nutrients, just like how a varied diet benefits humans. Additionally, climate change has emerged as a significant challenge for many species, including honeybees. Changes in temperature and weather patterns can disrupt the blooming times of flowers, leading to a mismatch between the availability of food and the bees' activity. It's akin to planning a picnic in the park only to arrive on a rainy day, realizing that there are no available picnic spots to enjoy. The spread of diseases and parasites also plays a critical role in the struggles faced by honeybee colonies. One of the most notorious threats comes from the varroa mite, a tiny parasite that feeds on bees and spreads deadly viruses. The relationship between bees and these parasites is devastating. As the mites invade, they weaken the bees, making them susceptible to other diseases and ultimately affecting colony health. This situation mirrors a system of interdependence, where the well-being of one species is crucial for the survival of others. The implications of colony collapse disorder extend beyond just honeybees. Ecosystem health relies on a delicate balance among species, including pollinators. Declining bee populations can lead to reduced plant diversity, which can have cascading effects on entire food webs, impacting not just bees, but also other wildlife and humans. Addressing the challenges presented by colony collapse disorder requires a concerted effort from various stakeholders. Farmers, policymakers, researchers, and consumers must work collaboratively toward sustainable practices that protect pollinators. Organic farming and reduced pesticide use can help create a safer environment for bees. Planting pollinator-friendly flowers, avoiding the use of harmful chemicals, and implementing conservation strategies can aid in stabilizing bee populations. Education and awareness are also crucial. By understanding the importance of honeybees and the threats they face, individuals can take action in their gardens, backyards, and communities. Simple changes, like planting native flowers that bloom at different times, can create habitats that support bees throughout the year. Every small step contributes to a greater goal of fostering a healthy environment. Colony collapse disorder is an intricate puzzle, comprising numerous elements that challenge our understanding of the natural world. While it remains a concern for scientists and beekeepers alike, it also opens doors for innovative solutions and collaborative efforts to protect these vital creatures. By embracing this challenge, we can work towards a sustainable future, acknowledging the profound impact honeybees have on our ecosystems and our lives. As we nurture these small but mighty creatures, we also cultivate the resilience of our planet. Fugu, often regarded as an intriguing delicacy in Japanese cuisine, carries with it a potent mix of allure and danger. This fish, known scientifically as the pufferfish, is famous not only for its unique taste and texture, but also for the perilous consequences of improper preparation. The thrill of dining on fugu rests on the edge of risk, as it is laced with toxins that can bring dire health consequences if not handled by experienced chefs. Native to the warm waters of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, fugu belongs to the family Tetraodontidae. These fish possess a fascinating defense mechanism. When threatened, they can puff up into a ball-like shape, making them appear larger and more intimidating to predators. This characteristic, however, is not the only thing that makes fugu special. Within its body, particularly in the liver, ovaries, and skin, lies a deadly substance known as tetrodotoxin. This neurotoxin is extremely powerful, capable of causing paralysis, respiratory failure, and even death within hours if ingested in significant amounts. Despite the dangers, fugu has a long history in Japan, where it has been eaten for centuries. The art of preparing fugu is taken very seriously, and chefs undergo rigorous training to master the skills required to serve this delicacy safely. In Japan, a chef must obtain a special license after completing a comprehensive program that includes understanding the anatomy of the fish, identifying toxic and non-toxic parts, and mastering the techniques necessary for safe preparation. When properly prepared, fugu offers a delicate flavor that chefs and food enthusiasts describe as both complex and subtle. Diners often enjoy fugu sashimi, where thin slices of the fish are artfully arranged and served with a dipping sauce. The texture is unlike any other fish, with a slightly firm yet tender consistency. Some chefs even create fugu hot pots, where pieces of the fish are simmered in a flavorful broth, providing a warming and satisfying meal. The experience of consuming fugu is not just about the taste. It encompasses the entire ritual surrounding its preparation and presentation, making it a symbol of culinary artistry. Cultural attitudes towards fugu combine respect with excitement. Many people are drawn to the thrill of taking the risk for the unique experience it offers. Traditional Japanese wisdom emphasizes the importance of savoring every bite, appreciating the care that goes into preparation, and consciously accepting the inherent risks. This dual nature of enjoyment and caution adds a layer of mystique to the dining experience. While fugu remains a popular offering during special occasions and festivals, there are stringent regulations in place to ensure its safety. Local and national guidelines dictate how fugu should be sourced, prepared, and served to minimize risks. Chefs are required to stay updated with the latest safety practices and to continually refine their skills to handle this complex fish. However, even with the most skilled chefs, incidents involving fugu consumption still occasionally occur. Some individuals attempt to prepare fugu at home, lured by the allure of culinary adventure, without understanding the risks involved. Such choices can lead to tragic outcomes, underscoring the importance of relying on trained professionals who specialize in this highly regarded dish. Aside from its extraordinary nature, fugu has become a topic of fascination in literature and media. Stories and documentaries have explored its fascinating history, cultural significance, and the rituals surrounding its consumption. This attention has only heightened the enigmatic reputation of the dish, making it a symbol of the delicate balance between culinary art and nature's secret dangers. As diners savor their fugu, they might find themselves reflecting on the contrast between life and death, risk and reward. Each meal becomes more than just sustenance. It morphs into an experience that intertwines tradition, culture, and the unpredictable dance with nature. With every bite of this intricate delicacy, there is an invitation to embrace life's uncertainties while respecting the traditions that connect people to their food. In modern society, the fascination with fugu continues to grow, and it can be found in various forms around the world, although often in less risky preparations. Chefs have adapted the dish to accommodate different palates, enabling more people to experience its unique flavor without the hazards associated with traditional cooking methods. Yet, even in these adaptations, the legendary status of fugu remains intact. In summary, fugu exemplifies the delicate interplay between culinary craftsmanship and the inherent risks within nature. This complex fish holds stories of tradition, careful preparation, and cultural significance that highlight not only the art of dining, but the deeper connections we forge with the world around us. It's a potent reminder that within the realm of gastronomy lies the thrill of adventure, one that many seek, even in the face of danger. In the fascinating world of animal behavior, few topics stir as much curiosity and concern as maternal instincts. Among the many species that exhibit complex parenting behaviors, hamsters hold a special place with their unique responses to stress. You might find it surprising to learn that under certain extreme conditions, some hamster mothers may resort to a behavior known as filial cannibalism, where they consume their own young. To understand this phenomenon, we first need to consider the natural environment of hamsters. They are typically solitary creatures, known for their burrowing habits and nocturnal lifestyle. The various species of hamsters, such as the Syrian hamster, dwarf hamsters, and Roborovsky hamsters, all exhibit interesting behaviors, but their maternal instincts often draw the most attention. When a hamster gives birth, the mother is usually focused on nurturing and protecting her litter. She forms a unique bond with her pups, carefully tending to their needs for warmth, food, and safety. However, this nurturing behavior can drastically change under stress. Stressors can arise from various sources, including environmental changes, overcrowding, illness, or lack of resources. When a hamster becomes overwhelmed, her instincts might shift dramatically. Instead of caring for her young, she may see them as a source of stress rather than survival. This seemingly harsh behavior can stem from a deep-rooted evolutionary strategy. By consuming weaker or unhealthy offspring, the mother hamster can redirect her energy and resources to ensure the survival of her remaining pups. Imagine a scenario where a mother hamster faces competition for food, or is stressed by a noisy environment. In such cases, she might perceive that caring for too many pups could put herself and her surviving young at risk. This drastic action, while startling to us, is not entirely uncommon in the animal kingdom. Many species engage in similar practices as a means of survival. The phenomenon of filial cannibalism is not exclusive to hamsters. You can find instances of this behavior across various species, from rodents to some bird species. In cases where populations become too large for the available resources, or when a mother feels threatened, such drastic measures can serve as a survival strategy for the mother and her remaining offspring. The act might seem cruel, but in the world of nature, every action can be viewed through the lens of survival. Research on this behavior has revealed fascinating insights into the psychology of hamsters. It has been suggested that mothers who exhibit lower maternal care under stress may do so as an instinctive tactic to maintain a balance within their environment. After all, the survival of the fittest prevails in the wild, and mothers are often faced with tough decisions that could determine the future of their lineage. Additionally, the environment in which a hamster births her young can significantly affect her behavior. A safe, quiet area could lead to more nurturing behavior, while a cramped, noisy habitat might lead to decisions driven more by anxiety than care. This underlines the importance of a suitable habitat for breeding hamsters. For pet owners, understanding these dynamics can lead to better support for their pets during breeding seasons, ensuring they have adequate space, food, and a calm environment to reduce the potential for stress. As with many aspects of nature, it is crucial to recognize that this behavior does not define hamsters in totality. They are loving and often quite affectionate creatures, known for their playful antics. Many people find joy in their company and can witness the tender moments between hamster mothers and their young when conditions are right. The bond formed during nurturing is a beautiful spectacle, showcasing the depth of connection some animals can have with their offspring. At the heart of these behaviors, we see a reflection of nature's complexities. The urges to protect or sacrifice, to nurture or consume, are all part of a broader narrative of survival that plays out across countless species. The more we learn about these fascinating creatures, the deeper our appreciation grows for both their struggles and their triumphs. So the next time you observe these tiny, furry beings in their habitats, remember that their instincts are shaped by millions of years of evolution. Each behavior, even the hard-to-understand ones, has its roots in the core necessity of continuing the species. In trying times, a mother hamster's choice may seem unthinkable, but it reveals the harsh realities of life in the wild, where every decision can have profound implications. Hamsters, while small and often seen simply as pets, carry with them the weight of nature's lessons and the complex dance of life that takes place in even the tiniest of bodies. In February 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers embarked on an expedition into the Ural Mountains of Russia. Led by Igor Dyatlov, this adventurous team made plans to traverse a challenging route, aiming to reach Otorten Mountain. They were all skilled outdoors people, familiar with the harsh winter conditions, but what began as an expedition filled with excitement and camaraderie ended in an unsolved mystery that would haunt generations. The group consisted of university students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Each member had a strong background in mountain climbing, making them well prepared for their journey. The hikers set out on their trek but failed to return as expected, prompting concern from friends and relatives. After a delay in their return, a search team was dispatched into the remote wilderness. Days later, searchers found the hikers' abandoned tent pitched on the slopes of a mountain, now known as Dyatlov Pass. The sight was alarming. The tent had been cut open from the inside, and there were footprints in the snow leading away from the campsite. Notably, these footprints were bare and showed that the hikers had fled into the freezing cold, leaving behind essential gear, including their boots and jackets. As rescuers continued their investigation, they discovered the bodies scattered across the region, some distance from the tent. The conditions were harsh and snow-covered, making the search difficult, but eventually, all 9 individuals were located. Each death revealed peculiar circumstances. Some had died from hypothermia, a common fate in such frigid temperatures, but others showed unusual injuries. One of the hikers, Lyudmila Dubinina, suffered severe trauma to her chest. The investigators reported that the injuries were akin to those found in car crashes. Additionally, some of the deceased exhibited signs of a strange phenomenon. Some had their eyes and tongues missing. Such bizarre findings sparked numerous theories about what could have happened on that fateful night. Speculations and hypotheses ran wild once details of the incident began to circulate. Some suggested that the group had encountered an avalanche, forcing them to flee the tent in panic. However, experts determined that the terrain was not consistent with that theory. Others speculated about a military encounter, suggesting that the group may have stumbled upon secret tests or exercises. The Cold War context added significance to this theory, as the Ural Mountains were a sensitive area. Another intriguing suggestion was that the hikers had experienced a supernatural event or a Yeti encounter. The remote region of the Ural Mountains has often been associated with myths and legends. However, these ideas were grounded in folklore rather than evidence. Further examination of the hikers' bodies revealed high levels of radiation on some of them. This finding raised questions about the possibility of a contamination incident or other unknown variables at play. Despite investigative efforts, no definitive explanations emerged to clarify the unusual circumstances surrounding their deaths. Following the incident, the Dyatlov Pass became a site of haunting tales and cultural fascination, inspiring tourists, adventurers, and those intrigued by the inexplicable. Documentaries, movies, and books delving into the mystery have emerged over the years, each presenting different angles and interpretations of the incident. Witnessing the fascination with the case today, it is evident that the allure lies not just in the tragedy, but in the human spirit of adventure and the enigma of nature itself. Each piece of the story draws the imagination, inviting people to ponder the enduring questions of what really happened that fateful night. As time passes, the incident continues to spark curiosity, inspiring investigations, debates, and even passionate discussions among enthusiasts. Decades later, the mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident remains largely unresolved. It serves as a reminder of the power and unpredictability of nature and the inherent risks adventurers face in the wilderness. The story of these 9 hikers touches on themes of community, bravery, and the unknown. Their adventure in the Ural Mountains came to a tragic end, forever altering the lives of those who loved them and leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate through time. As you dive deeper into the events of Dyatlov Pass, consider the questions that linger. What leads someone to venture into the wilderness? What draws people to explore the unknown? And how do we make sense of tragedy and loss? These queries echo through the years, urging the curious to reflect on their understanding of life, adventure, and the great mysteries of existence that remain just out of reach. In the end, the story lives on, captured in the hearts and minds of those who seek answers and continue to explore the wild terrains of possibility and the truths that lie hidden within. Throughout history, there have been strange and unsettling tales about something known as spontaneous human combustion, or SHC. This phenomenon refers to the alleged occurrence of a person suddenly bursting into flames without any apparent external source of ignition. The stories surrounding spontaneous human combustion are often gripping, filled with mystery and eeriness that entice those intrigued by the bizarre. One famous case is that of a woman named Mary Reeser in 1951. The 67-year-old was found deceased in her chair, with her body mostly reduced to ash, except for her left foot, which remained largely intact. The investigation concluded that her death was due to SHC, as there were no signs of a fire having occurred in the vicinity. However, the condition of her remains left many baffled. Surviving furniture and the surroundings were only lightly charred, adding an air of perplexity to an already unusual account. This case, along with others in the mid-20th century, fueled an intrigue surrounding SHC and sparked discussions on the possible scientific explanations behind such phenomena. The concept of people igniting spontaneously has existed for centuries. One of the earliest documented cases took place in France in the 18th century, when a famous privateer, known as the Burning Man of Paris, reportedly caught fire while sitting in front of a fireplace. Many thought his demise was due to his long exposure to alcohol, which could have made him an easy target for flames. However, cases like this often blend the boundaries between science and folklore, enticing those who enjoy exploring the unknown. Many theories have been proposed to explain spontaneous human combustion. Some suggest a buildup of flammable gases inside the human body, resulting in uncontrollable ignition. Others chalk it up to the metabolic processes of the human body, which can produce heat. But in reality, solid scientific backing for these theories remains scant. What often complicates matters further are accounts merging with myth and folklore. These stories weave a rich tapestry of beliefs, raising questions about the human condition and our relationship with fire, danger, and even the supernatural. Historical texts describe instances echoing the events of SHC. In ancient Rome, there were tales of individuals spontaneously igniting due to divine retribution or angering the gods. Such narratives highlight humanity's long-held fear of fire and the unknown, making spontaneous combustion a compelling subject for those fascinated with the eerie and unexplainable. This phenomenon captures the imagination partly because it involves a deeply primal fear, the loss of control over one's own body. Interestingly, many modern cases of supposed spontaneous human combustion often lead back to an overlooked detail: the presence of highly flammable materials around the person. For instance, a common thread amongst various incidents links the victims to the consumption of alcohol or smoking, both associated with increased risk of accidents. Coupled with the body's natural fat, these factors might create a perfect storm for unexpected fire incidents. In these contexts, what was once viewed as an inexplicable event morphs into a tragic but more mundane outcome of human behavior. The fascination with spontaneous human combustion gets amplified further by cultural depictions. Movies, literature, and documentaries have latched onto the narrative, weaving SHC into horror genres and creating captivating stories that both terrify and intrigue audiences. The portrayal often exaggerates details, leading viewers to believe that such occurrences are far more common than reality suggests. The captivating visuals of sudden fire erupting from within make for gripping tales, reinforcing our innate curiosity about danger and survival. While the scientific community remains skeptical about SHC, it does not deter the interest that surrounds it. Many scholars and enthusiasts continue to research and investigate cases of spontaneous combustion in an attempt to uncover the truth behind these mysterious flames. The ongoing inquiries keep the aura of mystery alive, inviting new generations to explore the intersection of science, folklore, and the inexplicable. As we delve into the multitude of narratives, we discover that spontaneous human combustion has transcended mere myth to become a significant topic full of philosophical inquiry, existential thought, and cultural exploration. What does it mean to combust spontaneously? Is it a metaphor for our internal struggles, or does it tap into humanity's collective fear of the unknown? The implications of these questions invite us to reflect on the nature of existence itself. Whether rooted in science or steeped in myth, the stories surrounding spontaneous human combustion serve as reminders of our fascination with the unknown. They challenge our understanding of the human experience and draw us into an exploration of the elements of life and death. In engaging with these tales, we can confront our fears and curiosities, pondering the mysteries of our existence in ways that may just light a spark of thought, inviting introspection into the experience of being human. In conclusion, spontaneous human combustion may remain elusive, shrouded in mystery and misunderstanding, but it undeniably sparks excitement and inquiry. The stories, the theories, and the cultural narratives all contribute to what makes the phenomenon both intriguing and unsettling. They beckon us to explore not just the strange events associated with spontaneous combustion, but also the deeper questions about the nature of humanity itself. So the next time you hear a tale of someone catching fire for no obvious reason, remember that beyond the chilling accounts lies a rich tapestry of human curiosity and imagination. Kuru disease is a fascinating yet tragic chapter in the history of human health, particularly highlighting the impact of culture on disease transmission. This rare and fatal neurological disorder primarily affected the 4 people of Papua New Guinea and is closely linked to a unique ritual practice within their communities. Understanding Kuru requires a journey into the interplay of tradition, biology, and the complex nature of prion diseases. Kuru, which translates to tremble in the 4 language, was characterized by a range of unsettling symptoms. People afflicted with this disease would experience tremors, difficulty coordinating movements, and progressive loss of motor control. As the condition advanced, patients often became unable to walk or care for themselves, leading to a highly debilitating state. In its final stages, Kuru would lead to severe neurological impairments, causing emotional distress and, ultimately, death. The origin of Kuru is deeply rooted in the cannibalistic practices that were part of the 4 culture, especially during funerary rites. Members of the community would consume the deceased as an act of mourning and respect. This ritualistic practice was seen as a way to honor the dead and bond the living with their ancestors. However, unbeknownst to them, this act facilitated the transmission of a prion, a type of misfolded protein that leads to neurodegenerative diseases. Prions are unique agents that challenge traditional notions of infectious diseases. Unlike bacteria and viruses, prions do not contain genetic material. Instead, they propagate by inducing normal proteins in the brain to adopt an abnormal shape, leading to a cascade of neuronal damage. In the case of Kuru, the prion responsible for the disease was transmitted through the consumption of infected human tissue. As the ritual continued over the years, Kuru spread through the population, causing an alarming rise in cases, predominantly among women and children, who were more likely to partake in these cannibalistic rites. The impact of Kuru on the Fore community was devastating. As the disease took its toll, entire families and communities were affected. Not only did the disease claim lives, but it also instilled a sense of fear and helplessness among the population. The symptoms were terrifying, and the loss of loved ones left emotional scars that lasted long after the individual passed. Whole communities were plunged into grief and confusion. Those who had participated in the rituals often felt guilt or remorse, grappling with the implications of their cultural practices. In the mid-20th century, as Western researchers began to study the phenomenon of Kuru, the disease gained international notoriety. Scientists were intrigued by the rapid progression of Kuru and the unique mechanism by which it operated. This led to significant research into prion diseases, with Kuru being one of the first instances providing insights into the larger family of transmissible spongiform encephalopathies that includes other diseases like Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease and mad cow disease. As awareness grew, efforts were made to educate the Fore people about the dangers of their cannibalistic practices. With the intervention of health organizations and researchers, the ritual of consuming human flesh began to diminish. Community leaders would methodically share knowledge about Kuru and its transmission, encouraging the adoption of safe and healthy practices that preserved life rather than threatened it. Today, Kuru is considered rare, with only a handful of cases reported in recent decades. This decline is attributed to the cessation of cannibalistic rituals, signaling a significant cultural shift. However, Kuru serves as a poignant reminder of the intersection between culture and health, highlighting how deeply ingrained traditions can influence the well-being of a community. While the disease itself is fascinating from a scientific standpoint, it also illustrates the broader implications of cultural practices on health. This unique case teaches us that understanding the context of diseases often requires more than just a biological lens. It involves a nuanced appreciation for cultural beliefs, communal practices, and the ways in which they can profoundly shape human experiences. As research continues, scientists are delving deeper into prion diseases, exploring their mechanisms, potential treatments, and the genetic factors that may protect some individuals from infection. The lessons learned from Kuru and the Fore people underscore the importance of communication, education, and the need for a holistic approach to health that takes culture into account. In conclusion, Kuru disease embodies a tragic intersection of cultural practices and neurological science. It reminds us of the fragility of human health and the intricate web of factors that influence it. By examining such unique cases, we gain valuable insights that not only enhance our understanding of diseases, but also encourage us to reflect on the cultural traditions that shape our lives. Imagine a hidden enemy that silently enters the body, attacking the very fabric of our being. This enemy is known as necrotizing fasciitis, a formidable and rapidly spreading infection that can result in devastating consequences. While it may sound like something out of a horror film, this condition is very real and can escalate quickly if not treated properly. Necrotizing fasciitis is often referred to as a flesh-eating disease. This name evokes visceral images, which may pique curiosity, but it's important to understand the science behind it. Essentially, this infection targets the soft tissues and fascia, which are the connective tissues that wrap around muscles, nerves, and blood vessels. Imagine layers of fabric that hold everything together. When those layers start to get damaged, the results can be catastrophic. This condition is most frequently caused by bacteria, with Streptococcus pyogenes and Staphylococcus aureus being common culprits. Picture these bacteria as tiny invaders that can enter through a small cut or break in the skin. What may seem like a minor injury can serve as an entry point for these harmful organisms. Once inside, they reproduce rapidly, releasing toxins that destroy tissue around them. This process can be incredibly swift, often progressing within just a few days. The symptoms can start modestly, sometimes resembling other infections. Initially, an individual may notice redness, swelling, and warmth in the affected area. A person might feel a persistent ache or pain, which can sometimes be out of proportion to the visible signs. It's akin to having an alarm bell ringing that, unfortunately, goes unnoticed at first. As the disease advances, affected areas may become blistered or blackened, indicating tissue death. The transformation can happen so fast that it leaves both the individual and the healthcare providers in shock. One of the most critical aspects of necrotizing fasciitis is its speed. Picture a wildfire spreading through a forest. When conditions are right, it can consume everything in its path in no time. Similar to that, this infection can spread rapidly along the fascia, able to move from one area to another within hours. That's why being aware of symptoms and seeking medical attention quickly is key. Early recognition is vital, and the old adage that time is of the essence genuinely rings true in these situations. The treatment for necrotizing fasciitis often requires a multifaceted approach. In many cases, surgery is necessary to remove dead or infected tissue. Think of it as a gardener pulling out weeds to save the flowers. Without intervention, the entire area may succumb to the invasive elements. Along with surgical intervention, antibiotics are often administered to combat the bacterial invasion. This one-two punch of addressing both the immediate threat and the underlying infection can be essential for recovery. Beyond medical interventions, there's a significant psychological aspect to consider. Being faced with such a serious and aggressive condition can be overwhelming. Patients may experience fear or anxiety, fearing for their health and future. Family members and friends may also feel helpless, not knowing how to best support their loved one during such a challenging time. For healthcare providers, this condition represents a unique challenge. Their response time, diagnostic skills, and ability to manage not just the physical aspects, but the emotional and psychological components, is critical. Education plays a key role in prevention and awareness. The more people understand about potential symptoms and risk factors, the better equipped they are to act swiftly. While necrotizing fasciitis can sometimes appear without warning signs, certain factors can increase the risk. Conditions such as diabetes, immune system disorders, and recent surgery or trauma can make individuals more susceptible to this infection. Through awareness, individuals can make informed decisions about their health, including maintaining good hygiene and addressing any wounds properly. The stories surrounding necrotizing fasciitis can be harrowing yet remarkable when it comes to resilience and recovery. There are instances of individuals defying the odds, recovering from severe infections, and using their experiences to advocate for awareness. These stories serve as a reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the importance of community in navigating health challenges. In conclusion, necrotizing fasciitis is a severe infection that warrants attention and understanding. By learning about the symptoms, causes, and treatment options, individuals empower themselves with the knowledge needed to react promptly. The more conversations we have about this condition and its realities, the better equipped society will be to confront it and support those affected by it. Knowledge is invaluable, offering a shield against the threats that can arise, even from small beginnings. By remaining vigilant and informed, we can help ensure that we, and those we care about, are better prepared to face the unexpected challenges of life. In the bustling streets of New York City during the 1930s, an atmosphere of excitement and vibrancy enveloped the city. Jazz filled the air, flappers danced in speakeasies, and the skyline was dotted with towering skyscrapers that seemed to touch the heavens. Yet, amidst this glamour, darkness lurked in the shadows. In the early part of this decade, a chilling figure known as the Maniac of New York emerged, creating a wave of terror that would grip the city. The urban landscape of New York was a melting pot of cultures where dreams were chased and opportunities abounded. However, the thrill of city life was overshadowed by a series of brutal, unsolved murders that sent shivers down the spines of residents. As reports of these heinous crimes spread, a sense of paralyzing fear began to settle over neighborhoods. Each day brought new tales of dread, a time when anxiety crept into conversations like a thief in the night. The first known victim was discovered in 1936. A young woman was found in an alley, her life abruptly taken, leaving behind a community in shock. With no witnesses and few clues, investigators struggled to piece together the mystery. The city's atmosphere shifted. A palpable tension filled the air as rumors flew about the identity and motives of this elusive killer. Was it someone hiding in plain sight, or a shadow that glided past unsuspecting victims? The questions were relentless, gnawing at the minds of New Yorkers. As time passed, the Maniac of New York claimed more victims. Each killing seemed to follow a chilling pattern, with methodical precision that confounded investigators. Some victims shared similar backgrounds, while others were strikingly different. It was as if the killer was choosing randomness as their tool, making detection even more difficult. Streets once filled with laughter were now cloaked in dread, as parents urged their children to stay close and avoid wandering into the darkness. Each fresh murder sent police into a frenzy. They began to release information to the public, hoping that someone might recognize a detail that could lead to an arrest. Posters of the victims were plastered on lampposts and in shop windows, a somber reminder of the threat that loomed over the city. However, despite these efforts, the identity of the killer remained shrouded in mystery. Each lead seemed to dead end, each tip-off trickling away into the unyielding backdrop of the city that never sleeps. The media fed the public's fascination, detailing the gruesome nature of the murders in newspapers across the city. The catchy moniker, the Maniac, gradually cemented itself in the collective consciousness, as people began to speculate not just about the identity of the killer, but also about the mind behind the madness. Who were they? What drove them to such acts? The narrative of the Maniac became more than just crime. It morphed into a macabre tale, captivating everyone from investigators to curious onlookers. As police efforts intensified, a network of detectives and criminologists pieced together profiles and psychological profiles of the suspected killer. Theories flourished, and rivalries ensued as detectives sought to be the ones to finally expose the identity of the man who had cast a pall over their city. Yet despite their best efforts, the mystery grew deeper. The very essence of the killings played tricks on their minds, each theory more perplexing than the last. The city, while gripped in fear, also began to exhibit its resilience. Community watch groups sprang into action, with neighbors banding together to protect one another. The will to live vibrantly persisted, as New Yorkers sought solace in the arts, the hustle and bustle of life, and the unwavering determination to maintain a sense of normalcy, even amidst the chaos that surrounded them. Children laughed in playgrounds, friends gathered in cafes, and the heartbeat of the city continued, albeit more cautiously. This era eventually came to symbolize a complex intersection, the contrasts of light and dark, hope and despair, amidst the haunting question of the maniac. In the wake of the fear birthed by these dreadful acts, people began to reflect on the nature of evil and the reasons behind such an inexplicable hunger for destruction. What had caused this unthinkable violence? Could it have been a product of the turbulent times, a reflection of the societal struggles that plagued a nation navigating through the Great Depression? The chilling silence of the Maniac of New York persisted, almost teasing those who sought answers. As the years rolled by and the mystery remained unsolved, the tale wove itself into the fabric of New York lore, whispered in hushed tones in dark corners of the city. Even as history turned the page, the specter of these crimes lingered, a reminder of a time when shadows held secrets and the streets echoed with unspeakable truths. Today, the legacy of the Maniac is a quieter echo in the annals of true crime history. It serves as a stark reminder that beneath the glamorous surface often lies an undercurrent of fear and unpredictability. The streets of New York have evolved, yet the whispers of the past remain, a timeless testament to the city's ability to endure. The legacy of the Maniac of New York stretches beyond the mere facts of grisly murders. It encapsulates the resilience of a community shaped by tales of tragedy and triumph, forever etched in time. Arsenic is a naturally occurring element that is often found in the Earth's crust, and its presence in our environment can lead to serious health concerns, particularly when it contaminates drinking water. Sudden arsenic poisoning can occur due to exposure to high levels of arsenic in a short period of time, which can lead to a range of acute and horrifying symptoms. It is essential to understand how this toxic element enters our lives, the potential dangers it poses, and the mechanisms behind its effects on the human body. Arsenic can be found in various forms, with inorganic arsenic generally being the most toxic. Sources of arsenic contamination in drinking water include natural mineral deposits, agricultural runoff, and industrial processes. In some regions, particularly those with extensive mining operations, arsenic can seep into groundwater, posing a significant risk to communities that rely on these water sources. In fact, it is estimated that millions of people worldwide are exposed to arsenic-contaminated drinking water, which places them in harm's way. When arsenic enters the body, it can disrupt numerous biological processes, leading to severe health issues. Acute exposure, which may occur through drinking contaminated water, ingestion of food, or inhalation of dust, creates a sudden influx of toxins that the body has to fight against. Symptoms of sudden arsenic poisoning can manifest quickly, often within hours. Common initial symptoms include abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. These symptoms are the body's immediate response to the presence of a poisonous substance as it attempts to expel the toxins. In addition to gastrointestinal distress, patients may experience headaches, confusion, and a sense of agitation or unease. This neurological impact can be distressing, as it affects cognitive function and the ability to think clearly. Beyond the immediate symptoms, arsenic poisoning can also lead to more severe complications if left untreated. Prolonged exposure can damage critical organ systems, especially the liver and kidneys, which are responsible for filtering toxins from the body. Arsenic can also impact the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of heart disease. As we dive deeper into the effects of arsenic poisoning, we discover that it also has long-term implications. Even after the initial exposure has ceased, individuals may face the risk of developing chronic health problems. Arsenic is known to be a carcinogen, meaning it can cause cancer after prolonged exposure. Some studies have linked arsenic to skin cancer, lung cancer, and bladder cancer, making this toxic element a significant concern for individuals living in contaminated areas. Awareness of the symptoms is critical for a swift diagnosis and treatment. If someone suspects they have been exposed to high levels of arsenic, they may notice skin changes, such as darkening or the formation of lesions. Additionally, numbness or tingling in the hands and feet can occur due to nerve damage. In severe cases, individuals can suffer from multi-organ failure, which can lead to dramatic health crises requiring immediate medical intervention. Because of the toxic nature of arsenic, it is essential for communities to ensure access to safe drinking water. Testing water sources for arsenic contamination is a proactive measure that can help identify potential risks before they affect public health. Treatment options for contaminated water can include filtration systems or the use of alternative water sources. At the individual level, awareness of where our drinking water comes from can empower us to make informed decisions about our health and safety. As we draw our understanding of sudden arsenic poisoning to a close, it becomes clear that knowledge and vigilance are key in preventing exposure. Educating ourselves and our communities about the risks associated with arsenic can aid in creating safer environments. Simple steps, like advocating for water quality testing and participating in local health initiatives, can pave the way for a healthier future. In summary, sudden arsenic poisoning is a severe health hazard stemming from exposure to this toxic substance through contaminated sources. Its effects can range from acute gastrointestinal distress to long-term health complications, including cancer. Ensuring safe drinking water and being informed about arsenic risks are crucial for protecting ourselves and our loved ones. The more we know, the better we can advocate for healthier living environments and ensure that all individuals have access to clean, safe water. In a world where knowledge is power, understanding the dangers of sudden arsenic poisoning empowers us to take preventative measures, fostering a culture of health and safety for generations to come. Digitalis toxicity refers to a condition that occurs when there is an overdose of a heart medication called digoxin, which is derived from the leaves of the foxglove plant. While digoxin can be life-saving for individuals with certain heart conditions, its narrow therapeutic window makes it a medication that must be used with caution. Let's explore the basics of digoxin. What happens during an overdose, the symptoms associated with toxicity, and the actions that can be taken to manage this condition. Digoxin has been used for many years to treat heart failure and certain types of irregular heartbeats, such as atrial fibrillation. It works by helping the heart pump more efficiently and improving blood flow to the rest of the body. For patients suffering from conditions that weaken the heart, digoxin can provide significant relief from symptoms, enhancing overall quality of life. However, because of the way it affects the heart, getting the dose right is crucial. A digitalis overdose can happen for several reasons. Sometimes, it occurs when a dose is miscalculated or when a patient takes too many pills. Other times, it can result from the interaction of digoxin with other medications or changes in the body's ability to process the drug. Kidney function is one key area to consider. Since the kidneys are responsible for filtering medications from the body, impaired kidney function can lead to increased levels of digoxin, raising the risk of toxicity. The symptoms of digoxin toxicity can vary widely. Patients might experience gastrointestinal disturbances such as nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, which can be unsettling. Others may notice changes in their vision, often reporting yellow or green halos around objects, a condition known as xanthopsia. Perhaps one of the more alarming symptoms is the effect on heart rhythms. Patients may experience palpitations, arrhythmias, or a noticeable increase or decrease in heart rate. In severe cases, digitalis toxicity can lead to life-threatening heart problems, which is why quick recognition and treatment are important. If someone suspects that they or someone they know is experiencing digoxin toxicity, it's important to seek medical help immediately. Healthcare providers have several methods to manage this condition. The first step is usually a thorough evaluation, including a detailed history of medication intake and any accompanying symptoms. Blood tests may be performed to measure digoxin levels, electrolyte imbalances, and to check kidney function. In cases of mild toxicity, doctors might simply recommend reducing the dosage or temporarily discontinuing digoxin. Adequate hydration is important, and correction of any electrolyte imbalances, such as low potassium or magnesium levels, is crucial. In more severe cases, specific treatments to counteract the effects of the drug may be necessary. One such treatment is the use of digoxin-specific antibody fragments, known as Digibind, which bind to digoxin, allowing it to be excreted from the body more effectively. Understanding the importance of monitoring and education can play a key role in preventing digitalis toxicity. Patients prescribed digoxin should have regular follow-up appointments with their healthcare provider, allowing for monitoring of their heart function and kidney health. They should also be educated about potential interactions with other medications, including over-the-counter drugs and supplements. It is essential for patients to be aware of the signs of toxicity and to feel empowered to reach out for help if they notice any new symptoms. In addition to medication management, lifestyle factors such as maintaining a balanced diet, staying hydrated, and avoiding excessive alcohol consumption can support heart health. In summary, digitalis toxicity represents a significant health risk associated with the heart medication digoxin. While this medication can be beneficial for certain heart conditions, careful monitoring and awareness are key to ensuring safety. Through a better understanding of the symptoms and appropriate medical interventions, individuals can safely manage their heart health and mitigate the risks associated with digoxin. It is always best to have open communication with healthcare providers to create a plan that supports both safe medication use and overall well-being. In the quaint village of Woolpit, nestled in the rolling hills of Suffolk, England, an extraordinary tale from the 12th century has intrigued historians, folklore enthusiasts, and curious minds alike. This is the story of the Green Children of Woolpit, a legend that carries with it a blend of mystery, cultural lore, and intrigue. According to historical accounts, the story begins during a harvest season when two children, a brother and sister, emerged from the depths of a nearby wolf pit, a place that had once served as a trap for wolves. These children were unlike any others the villagers had ever encountered. What set them apart was their striking green skin, which cast an unusual hue across their features, and their curious, unworldly demeanor. The villagers were taken aback by this peculiar sight. The children, clearly frightened and bewildered, spoke in a language that no one could understand. Their clothes, strange and unfamiliar, seemed to be made of a fabric that had never been seen in the village before. Their appearance raised many questions, sparking countless theories about their origins. As the tale goes, the children were taken in by a kind local landowner named Sir Richard de Calne. He arranged for the Green Children to be cared for and began to learn more about them. Over time, they adapted to their new surroundings, shedding their fear and becoming more integrated into village life. The boy, however, struggled and eventually fell ill, succumbing to his weakened state. The girl, on the other hand, persevered. As she adjusted, she learned to speak English and began to share snippets of her life and experiences with the villagers. From her accounts, the villagers pieced together that she and her brother came from a peculiar place that she referred to as St. Martin's Land. She described a realm where everything was colored with shades of green, a world so different from Woolpit. Her words painted a vivid picture of a place filled with strange gardens, vibrant fields, and glowing light, where the sun never fully shone. Curiously, the girl spoke of sunlight and warmth, yet her description hinted at a shadowy existence, as if her home had an otherworldly quality not bound to the same rules of nature that govern Woolpit. To the villagers, this tale sounded like something out of a fable or mythology. How could such a place exist? What had happened to these children to leave them lost and alone? As she grew, the girl adopted the customs of her new village. She shed her green clothes for garments made from the wool of local sheep, and the peculiar green hue of her skin began to fade as she consumed food that was unfamiliar to her. Peas and beans, as she explained to the villagers, were unlike anything she had known. It was a simple diet that brought her gradually into the world of warmth and familiarity, yet the story of her origins remained a mystery. Long after the girl integrated into village life, her story began to take on legendary status, sparking imaginations far beyond the borders of Woolpit. Scholars have speculated about the possible explanations for the children's unusual appearance. Some suggested a rare medical condition might have caused their green skin, while others proposed they were victims of malnutrition or were perhaps suffering from a form of chlorosis, a disease that leaves the skin with a greenish tint. Others believed that they might have come from another world, an alternate reality where different rules applied. The tale also evokes thoughts of folklore and fairy tales, where mythical creatures and magical beings often visited the human world, leaving behind their charm and ultimately enriching human lives with their strange tales. The Green Children of Woolpit transformed into a legend, a narrative embedded within the folklore of England, appealing to the imagination and curiosity of all who heard it. In contemporary times, the story continues to resonate. It is often examined as an exploration of the unknown, how people react to that which they cannot understand or control. It raises questions about identity, belonging, and the often blurry line between myth and reality. How do we make sense of what we don't know? How does culture shape our perception of others who seem different? As you ponder the tale of the Green Children, consider the ways in which stories evolve and reflect not only the human experience, but also our desire to connect with one another. The legend of these children highlights the capacity for resilience, fascination, and the wonder inherent in the act of storytelling. What began as a tale of two bewildered children has transformed into a legend packed with numerous interpretations and meanings across time and space. So the next time you hear a story or encounter something strange and inexplicable, remember the Green Children of Woolpit. Their tale, woven into the fabric of history, invites us to embrace curiosity, seek understanding, and celebrate the mysteries that life unfolds. Toxic Casa de la Peste, a name that evokes both curiosity and intrigue, is one of the most hauntingly fascinating ghost towns in the United States. Nestled in the heart of a once thriving community, it now stands as a stark reminder of the consequences of industrial mismanagement and environmental neglect. The story of this abandoned town is not just one of decay. It is a tale that intertwines human ambition with nature's unforgiving power. The town was originally founded in the late 1800s, during a time of rapid expansion and economic growth across the country. Settlers flocked to the area, drawn by the promise of prosperity and a better life. At its peak, Casa de la Peste was a bustling hub of activity, filled with families, businesses, and community gatherings. Schools, shops, and homes sprang up, and the laughter of children echoed through the streets. However, beneath this vibrant surface lay the beginnings of disaster. As the town grew, so did its reliance on the nearby chemical plants, which produced various industrial products essential for the economy. This connection initially brought in jobs and wealth, fueling further growth and development. But as with many tales of rapid industrialization, the environmental impact was often overlooked. In the mid-20th century, a catastrophic event unfolded when a toxic chemical spill compromised the very ground of Casa de la Peste. The spill, caused by a series of maintenance failures and poor safety measures, released harmful substances into the soil and water supply. What began as an invisible threat quickly escalated into a crisis, affecting both the environment and the health of the residents. As reports of illness and environmental abnormalities emerged, concerns spread through the community like wildfire. Residents began to notice changes, crops failed, and livestock grew sick. People who had lived in the town for generations started experiencing mysterious health issues, linking their ailments to the chemicals that had seeped into their lives. Families packed up their belongings and fled, seeking safety and health elsewhere. Eventually, government intervention deemed the area uninhabitable. An evacuation order was issued, and the vibrant town quickly transformed into a ghostly landscape. Houses that once were filled with life fell silent, and streets that had echoed with laughter became desolate. Nature began to reclaim the land, a slow but relentless process that transformed man-made structures into eerie remnants of what once was. Today, visitors to toxic Casa de la Peste are met with a chilling atmosphere steeped in history. Abandoned homes, overgrown gardens, and rusting vehicles tell a story of what life was like before the tragedy struck. The smell of damp earth mingles with the faint scent of chemicals still lingering in the air. It is a place where echoes of the past resonate strongly amidst the stillness. As you wander through the town, you may find yourself contemplating the lives that were lived within those walls. The cracked windows of homes offer cold glimpses into rooms left untouched for decades. Family photographs, papers, and everyday items scattered about serve as poignant reminders of the lives abruptly interrupted by disaster. Each object holds a fragment of a story that would otherwise be forgotten. The town has drawn the attention of urban explorers, photographers, and historians eager to document its haunting beauty. Despite the tragic circumstances that led to its abandonment, there is an undeniable allure to the dilapidated buildings and the stories they hold. This fascination is layered, provoking thoughts about the balance between industrial progress and environmental stewardship. A visit here invites contemplation on more than just the past. It challenges us to consider the delicate relationship between humanity and nature. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of responsibility, awareness, and community action in the face of environmental challenges. Incidents like the spill that led to the fate of Casa de la Peste urge us to reflect on our actions and their potential consequences on future generations. While the physical structures may crumble, the spirit of Casa de la Peste lingers on. Nature surrounds the town, filling it with deep-rooted trees and wildlife that have started to make the area their home. Birds chirp in the thick foliage, and the wind whispers through the abandoned streets, suggesting that even in desolation, life persists. As time passes, the stories of Casa de la Peste become intertwined with legends, transforming the once bustling community into a focal point of cautionary tales about environmental mishaps, human perseverance, and the unyielding passage of time. Visitors leave with a sense of awe, pondering the cycles of life and history, reminding us that even in the quietest places, stories of resilience, endings, and new beginnings continue to thrive. In the northeastern part of India lies the small village of Jatinga, a place that has captivated the attention of scientists and curious minds alike, due to a remarkable and rather perplexing phenomenon involving birds. This mystery has intrigued both locals and researchers for decades, offering a strange and haunting story of avian behaviors that seem to defy explanation. Jatinga is nestled in the Dima Hasao district of Assam, where lush green landscapes and beautiful mountainous terrain create an enchanting backdrop. However, what sets Jatinga apart from other serene villages is its peculiar relationship with birds, particularly during the monsoon months from September to November. Each year, around this time, hundreds of birds find their way to this village, but not in the usual manner one might expect. Witnesses recount that, on certain nights, flocks of migratory birds suddenly begin to hurtle themselves towards the ground. An assortment of species, including species such as the migratory wagtail, the blue-throated barbet, and the several kinds of swallows, appear to become entranced as they dive toward the earth. Sadly, many of these birds meet a tragic fate as they crash into rooftops, electrical poles, or the hard ground below. This unusual occurrence has led some residents to believe in a supernatural explanation, while others remain skeptical, seeking to uncover a scientific rationale behind these phenomena. As stories of the Jatinga bird mystery spread, it not only drew the attention of locals, but also attracted ornithologists and researchers from around the globe, all eager to understand what drives these birds to plunge to their untimely demise. One leading theory suggests that these birds are disoriented by the unique geography and weather conditions surrounding Jatinga. The village is distinguished by its deep valleys and sudden weather shifts, which can create dense fog and low visibility. Birds migrating from higher altitudes to lower ones might find themselves confused by the sudden changes in their environment. It is plausible that in their quest for safe refuge or in navigating during nighttime, they fail to recognize their surroundings, leading to catastrophic outcomes. Another consideration is the presence of bright artificial lights in the village. Light pollution can be particularly disorienting for nocturnal wildlife and migratory birds. The bright glow emitted by streetlights and buildings might attract these birds, causing them to veer off their intended path, ultimately leading to collisions and crashes. This behavior isn't solely confined to Jatinga. Similar incidents have been reported in various parts of the world, where urban areas disrupt the natural migratory patterns of wildlife. The village of Jatinga has garnered a certain level of fame because of this mystery, becoming an alarming focal point in discussions about conservation and the impact of urbanization on migratory routes. Ecologists and ornithologists have used Jatinga as a case study, prompting conversations about the need to develop strategies that help protect migratory birds and their habitats. In the evenings and nights when these incidents occur, the villagers often take on a somber and reflective stance. They gather to observe the events unfold, some feeling a deep sense of sadness for the creatures meeting such an unfortunate fate. Yet, amidst the solemnity, there's an air of camaraderie as they share stories, recounting how this occurrence has woven itself into the fabric of local folklore. Over the years, various attempts have been made to document these events scientifically. Researchers have laid out strategies to monitor the local bird populations and track their behaviors during migration seasons. This has helped to paint a more comprehensive picture of what exactly happens in Jatinga, contributing to our understanding of avian ecology and migration patterns in a broader sense. Interestingly, despite the negative outcomes during those peak months, the villagers of Jatinga have also found ways to live alongside this phenomenon. The local community engages in educating one another and visitors about the importance of caring for their environment. They discuss the impact of human activity on wildlife and ways to minimize disruptions. The enigma of the Jatinga bird mystery continues to spark curiosity, leading to additional investigations and renewed interest in habitats critical to the survival of migratory birds. As the village prepares for another season, residents remain ever watchful for the arrival of the birds, perpetuating a cycle of wonder and intrigue. Ultimately, Jatinga serves as an essential reminder of the intricate relationships within ecosystems and the effects that human development can have on wildlife. The scrolling tales of birds soaring through the skies and the tragic echoes of those that meet their end compel us to reflect on our impact as caretakers of the planet. The mystery of Jatinga doesn't just lie in the inexplicable behavior of birds. It invites us to educate ourselves, engage with our natural world, and foster an environment that encourages the survival and flourishing of all living things. The sea lamprey, a fascinating but concerning species, has made headlines over the years for its impact on the Great Lakes ecosystem. Originating from the Atlantic Ocean, these parasitic fish found their way into the Great Lakes through man-made canals in the early 20th century. Their arrival marked the beginning of a new chapter for the native aquatic life in these waters, and unfortunately, it has not been a positive one. To understand the significance of the sea lamprey invasion, it helps to first understand what a lamprey is. Lampreys are jawless fish characterized by their elongated bodies and a distinctive round mouth full of sharp, rasping teeth. This unique mouth is a tool for survival, enabling them to latch onto other fish. Once they attach to a host, they feed on its blood and bodily fluids, which can lead to severe harm or even death for the host fish, making lampreys true parasites. In the Great Lakes, the sea lamprey has had devastating effects on native fish populations, particularly on species like lake trout, whitefish, and bass. In their natural habitat, sea lampreys have various prey and predators, maintaining a balance in the ecosystem. However, in the Great Lakes, the absence of natural predators has allowed the lampreys to thrive excessively. Their high reproductive rates, with females capable of laying up to 100,000 eggs in a single spawning event, contribute to their rapid population growth, further compounding the issue. The impact of the sea lamprey wasn't immediately apparent, but has become increasingly serious over the decades. As they voraciously consume the blood of vital fish populations, the dynamics of the Great Lakes ecosystem have shifted. Important species that were once abundant have seen their numbers plummet, leading to a cascade of ecological consequences. The loss of key species disrupts food webs, affecting not just the fish that fall prey to lampreys, but also birds, mammals, and even aquatic plants that rely on a healthy balance of species. Conservation efforts have been critical in the fight against the sea lamprey invasion. Various strategies have been employed to manage and reduce their population. One of the most effective methods has been the use of chemical treatments in areas where sea lampreys breed. Targeted applications of lampricides can significantly diminish larval populations while trying to minimize the impact on non-target species. This method has seen success, but it requires ongoing monitoring and management to keep the sea lamprey numbers in check. Aside from chemical treatments, researchers have also explored biological control options. For instance, scientists study the lamprey's life cycle and mating habits to find possible natural predators that could thrive in the Great Lakes environment. Understanding these dynamics not only helps in managing the current invasion, but also provides insights into preventing future invasions of other potential invasive species. Though the sea lamprey is a formidable adversary, public awareness and engagement are vital in the conservation narrative. Educating local communities about the importance of protecting native species and the delicate balance of the Great Lakes ecosystem can foster a sense of stewardship. Small actions, like preventing the spread of invasive species by cleaning boats and gear, can make a significant difference in protecting local waters. Interestingly, despite the harm they cause, sea lampreys have sparked scientific curiosity and interest. They have been studied for their unique biology and evolutionary traits. For example, lampreys have an amazing ability to regenerate tissues and organs, prompting research into potential medical applications for human health. This dual nature of the sea lamprey, being both a subject of study and an invasive threat, adds layers to our understanding of nature's complexities. Looking ahead, the battle against the sea lamprey is ongoing. The collaboration between researchers, local communities, and governmental organizations remains crucial to monitoring and managing their populations. While lampreys have certainly made their mark on the Great Lakes, the story does not end here. Through persistent efforts and innovative solutions, there is hope for restoring balance to these ecosystems and safeguarding them for future generations. In conclusion, the tale of the sea lamprey in the Great Lakes is one of resilience and adaptation, but also of challenge and disruption. It reminds us of the delicate interconnections within ecosystems and the importance of protecting our natural environments. Each step we take towards understanding and managing invasive species helps preserve the rich biodiversity that characterizes the Great Lakes and beyond. So next time you hear about sea lampreys, think not just of their destructive tendencies, but also of the insights they can teach us about nature and our role within it. Nestled within the vibrant metropolis of Hong Kong, the Kowloon walled city was a remarkable and fascinating, albeit chaotic, settlement that stood as an emblem of resilience and ingenuity. Originally a military outpost, it evolved over time into one of the most densely populated places on Earth, often noted for its unique and complex structure. Historically, the walled city has roots that trace back to the Song dynasty, when it was established as a military outpost to protect against invasions. With time and political changes, the need for military presence diminished, and its infrastructure began to transform. By the mid-20th century, following World War II, the area emerged as a haven for refugees who had fled the war and instability, leading to a surge in population. Imagine a place where over 30,000 people lived within just 6.5 acres of land. The environment was incredibly congested, with buildings stacked upon one another, creating a vertical maze that was almost a city within a city. The structures varied in height and width, often built with little regard to architectural norms or building regulations. This unique construction resulted in a labyrinth of alleys and stairways, where natural light often struggled to penetrate, creating a shadowy ambiance amidst the hustle of daily life. The people of Kowloon Walled City adapted remarkably to their surroundings. The close-knit community formed its own set of rules, establishing an informal government of sorts, which dictated much of the day-to-day operations. With little formal oversight, residents created their own enterprises, including restaurants, shops, and medical clinics, on nearly every floor of the clustered buildings. You could find eateries serving diverse culinary delights, from traditional Chinese dim sum to the unique flavors born of cultural fusion. In this densely populated area, space was at a premium. Families often occupied single rooms with just enough space for basic necessities. Many homes contained makeshift kitchens, where families would prepare meals on tiny stoves. Despite the conditions that most would find unfavorable, a strong sense of community prevailed. Neighbors supported one another, sharing resources, joys, and struggles. The bold entrepreneurial spirit shone through in the walled city's approach to commerce. Small businesses thrived, selling everything from handcrafted goods to unique street food. The bustling markets provided a sensory overload of colors, sounds, and smells, drawing people in with their vibrant atmosphere. There was an array of services as well. Unlicensed medical practitioners offered health care, often giving locals greater access to necessary treatments without the constraints of formal healthcare systems. Life in Kowloon Walled City could be incredibly challenging. Sanitation was a significant concern, with the lack of effective waste management resulting in a struggle to maintain a clean environment. However, the tenacity of the residents often turned adversity into innovation. Creative solutions were born from necessity, leading to an underground economy and a thriving neighborhood life. As you look around, you might be struck by how the community engaged with their surroundings. The mixture of cultures and traditions created an extraordinary tapestry of life, merging Hong Kong's heritage with the stories of newcomers. Cultural events, celebrations, and the day-to-day rhythm of life painted a vivid picture of the human spirit's ability to thrive, even when confronted with daunting challenges. Despite its informal status and the struggles many residents faced, Kowloon Walled City also fostered an artistic movement. Street art, murals, and various forms of self-expression blossomed within the confines of this unique urban environment. It acted as a canvas for creativity and expression, showcasing the aspirations and dreams of its inhabitants. Over time, Kowloon Walled City became a subject of fascination for urban explorers and photographers drawn to its unusual layout and human stories. Its unique history inspired documentaries, books, and films, capturing not just the physical space, but the essence of what it represented. But as urban development moved forward, the walled city began to face challenges that would ultimately lead to its demolition in the 1990s. Today, the site of the former Kowloon Walled City has been transformed into a serene park dedicated to its memory. The Walled City Park features elements that reflect its past, including the remnants of the South Gate, historical artifacts, and beautifully manicured gardens. Visitors can wander through winding paths lined with lush greenery, browsing interpretive displays that tell the story of this once thriving community. Kowloon Walled City stands now as a testament to human resilience and creativity in the face of adversity. It serves as a reminder that community can flourish under even the most unlikely circumstances, and it highlights the indomitable spirit found in each individual's quest for a better life. As we reflect on its legacy, we are left with intriguing questions about urban life, governance, and the way communities shape identities in the ever-evolving landscape of cities. Minamata disease is a fascinating and tragic example of how industrial processes can impact human health and the environment. This neurological syndrome was first identified in the fishing town of Minamata, located in Kumamoto Prefecture, Japan, during the 1950s. The story of Minamata disease is not just about a medical condition. It serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of pollution, corporate indifference, and the struggles of affected communities. The origins of Minamata disease can be traced back to the release of mercury into Minamata Bay by a chemical factory. The Chiso Corporation, which was producing acetaldehyde, discharged untreated wastewater containing high levels of mercury directly into the bay over several decades. Mercury, a toxic heavy metal, began accumulating in the marine life, particularly fish and shellfish, which were a staple in the local diet. Initially, the effects of mercury poisoning were not immediately obvious. As fishermen and their families consumed the contaminated seafood, symptoms began to appear. The first reported cases were in people who exhibited strange behaviors, including difficulties with motor skills, vision impairment, and cognitive decline. This led to confusion among medical professionals as the symptoms mimicked other conditions. As more and more individuals from the community began exhibiting signs of neurological impairment, health authorities started to investigate the cause. By the early 1960s, it was established that mercury exposure was responsible for the cluster of illnesses. The situation escalated into a public health crisis, drawing both national and international attention. It was estimated that thousands of people were affected, with symptoms ranging from tremors and numbness to severe cognitive impairments and, in many cases, death. The community in Minamata faced significant challenges. Not only did individuals suffer from debilitating health issues, but the stigma associated with the disease led to social ostracism. Many residents lost their livelihoods as the fishing industry collapsed, leading to economic despair. Families were torn apart, and some sought solace in legal battles against the Chiso Corporation, demanding compensation for their suffering. The struggles of the people in Minamata highlighted the importance of environmental awareness and the need for regulatory oversight. The government was criticized for its slow response, and many activists rallied for change. The incident prompted a broader examination of industrial practices and environmental policies in Japan and beyond. One of the key individuals in bringing attention to Minamata disease was Dr. Masazumi Harada, a neurologist who began studying the neurological conditions affecting the community. His research provided essential evidence of the link between mercury exposure and the symptoms observed in patients. Dr. Harada's work played a crucial role in raising awareness and advocating for the victims. In addition to the immediate health impacts, the Minamata situation raised questions about the long-term effects of mercury on the ecosystem. Studies revealed that mercury levels remained elevated in the environment long after the initial contamination. Fish populations continued to be affected, and the repercussions were felt across the food chain. In response to the crisis, various measures were implemented to prevent similar events in the future. Legislative changes were made to regulate industrial waste disposal and monitor environmental pollutants. The Minamata Convention on Mercury, adopted in 2013, is a global treaty aimed at protecting human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury. This treaty is a direct result of the lessons learned from the tragedy of Minamata disease. Over the years, the stories of Minamata's victims have inspired countless works of art, literature, and documentaries, ensuring that the legacy of those affected by mercury poisoning continues to resonate. The harrowing experiences of the community have become symbolic of the fight for environmental justice, reminding us of the power dynamics at play in industrial societies. Today, Minamata has transformed from a place of sorrow and suffering into a symbol of resilience. The community continues to heal, and efforts are underway to revitalize the area and promote awareness about the importance of environmental stewardship. Educational programs focus on the impacts of pollution, the importance of sustainable practices, and the need for vigilance in protecting both public health and the environment. Minamata disease serves as an enduring reminder of the potential consequences of neglecting environmental responsibility. It illustrates how human actions can have far-reaching effects, not only on our health, but also on the ecosystems that sustain us. The history of this disease challenges us to critically assess our choices and consider the long-term impacts of our interactions with nature. As we reflect on the lessons learned from Minamata, it becomes clear that awareness, accountability, and commitment to ethical practices are vital in fostering a healthier planet. The story of Minamata is one of tragedy, but it is also one of hope, resilience, and the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. It reminds us that we must remain vigilant stewards of our environment, ensuring that such a tragedy never occurs again. The Valley of the Shadow of Death is a historically significant site located in Crimea, steeped in the echoes of heavy mortal combat and the struggles of war during the 19th century. This valley became famous for the fierce battles that took place during the Crimean War, particularly the infamous Charge of the Light Brigade, which stands as a symbol of bravery and folly within military history. To understand the gravity of this valley, one must first touch upon the backdrop of the Crimean War, a conflict that unfolded between 1853 and 1856. This war involved several major powers, including Britain, France, the Ottoman Empire, and Russia. It stemmed from a complex mix of political, territorial, and cultural tensions in the region of Crimea. The valley itself lies near Sevastopol, a key naval port and the focal point of intense military operations during the war. The name Valley of the Shadow of Death evokes both a sense of foreboding and a dramatic atmosphere, befitting a place that witnessed the brutality of combat. This valley was the site of a notorious charge that took place on October 25, 1854, during the Battle of Balaclava. Here, the British Light Brigade was ordered to charge against Russian artillery positioned in the valley, a move that would become one of the most famous, yet tragic military maneuvers in history. Imagine the scene. Hundreds of cavalry soldiers, proud and valiant, riding headlong into the valley, their sabers drawn, the air filled with the thunder of hooves and the thunderous roar of cannon fire. The charge, initially perceived as a heroic effort to seize an advantageous position, quickly turned into a disastrous encounter. As the Light Brigade advanced, they found themselves caught in a deadly crossfire, with enemies hidden among the hills and the artillery raining down from above. This confrontation was marked by incredible courage, but it also illustrated the tragic realities of war, strategic blunders, miscommunication, and the overwhelming power of entrenched positions. The valley bore witness to the loss of many brave souls, and the phrase, Valley of the Shadow of Death, has since become synonymous with the dire consequences faced by those who find themselves caught in the throes of conflict. Interestingly, this historical episode inspired various works of art and literature. Alfred Lord Tennyson, inspired by the events, penned his famous poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade, which memorialized the bravery and the futility of battle. His powerful words invited readers to reflect on the valor of the soldiers who charged into the valley, capturing both the honor and the horror of war. In the years that followed the war, the Valley of the Shadow of Death transformed from a site of conflict into a place of remembrance. Today, visitors to Crimea may explore the valley and gain insights into the extraordinary events that transpired there. Tour guides recount tales of heroism and sacrifice, while memorials honor those who fought and fell in the struggle. The landscape itself offers a quiet sincerity, where the surrounding hills and valleys have seemingly settled into a state of peace, contrasting sharply with the turbulence of the past. As we reflect on the Valley of the Shadow of Death, it serves as a reminder of the complexities of human conflict. It is a place where bravery and tragedy intertwine, where the echoes of history whisper stories of valor, sacrifice, and the costs of warfare. A visit to this historic site is not just an exploration of land, but a journey into the heart of human experience, offering a poignant glimpse into a time when lives were irrevocably changed in the pursuit of honor, duty, and survival. Thus, the valley invites contemplation, provoking thoughts about the nature of war, its triumphs and losses, its complexities and simplicities. In the end, it becomes more than just a geographical location. It transforms into a symbol of humanity's ongoing struggle with itself, deftly illustrating the fine line that separates courage from peril, making it a powerful chapter in the annals of history. Through this lens, the Valley of the Shadow of Death continues to resonate, prompting reflection on the paths of past battles, while also inviting future generations to remember and learn from the lessons etched into its very soil. The Aral Sea, once one of the largest lakes in the world, was a vibrant body of water teeming with life and supporting local fisheries and communities. Nestled between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, it was a central hub for the regional economy and an essential resource for the people living nearby. Its name means Sea of Islands because of the numerous islands that used to scatter across its expansive waters. The Aral Sea had an area larger than that of the entire country of Ireland, and it played a vital role in the cultural and social fabric of Central Asia. In the mid-20th century, the landscape of the Aral Sea began to change rapidly due to extensive Soviet agricultural interventions. To boost cotton production, which was in high demand during the Soviet Union era, massive irrigation projects were initiated. Rivers that fed into the Aral Sea, notably the Amu Darya and Sir Darya, were diverted to supply these vast cotton fields. The goal was to transform the desert regions of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan into fertile agricultural lands. While this effort seemed advantageous at first, it led to unforeseen consequences for the environment and the communities relying on the Aral Sea. By the 1980s, the sea had shrunk drastically, losing over 90% of its water volume. This monumental change altered the microclimate of the region, leading to harsher weather conditions. The once rich fishing industry collapsed as fish populations dwindled, affecting not just the ecosystem, but also the livelihoods of thousands of fishermen and their families. Communities that had thrived on the banks of the sea became shadowed by poverty, and many were forced to migrate in search of better opportunities. The shrinking sea left behind vast stretches of exposed lakebed, which became increasingly vital for understanding the Aral Sea disaster. As the lake dried up, remnants of pesticides and fertilizers that had accumulated over decades were exposed. Winds carried these toxic particles across the region, leading to health crises among the population, as respiratory illnesses and other ailments became prevalent. The air quality deteriorated sharply, leading to significant public health concerns. Efforts to reverse the damage have been initiated, but the repercussions of the disaster continue to affect the region deeply. In the early 2000s, international organizations and local governments launched projects to restore some of the sea by reconstructing irrigation systems and improving water management practices. Efforts to raise water levels in the northern part of the sea, known as the North Aral Sea, have shown some promise. The construction of a dam in the early 2000s allowed some water to flow back into this section, leading to moderate recovery and even a slight resurgence of fish populations. However, the southern part of the sea remains desolate, highlighting the ongoing struggle to address the ecological and social fallout of the disaster. The legacy of the Aral Sea is not just about environmental degradation. It is also a poignant reminder of the consequences of human intervention in nature. The disaster serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the delicate balance that exists between human activity and ecological health. Today, the region is marked by ghost towns where fishing boats once thrived, and the stark reality of what happens when a resource is exploited without regard for sustainability. Examinations of this vast environmental change have sparked interest and urgency around the world. The story of the Aral Sea resonates with contemporary discussions on water management, agriculture, and climate change. It provokes questions about the responsibilities of nations in safeguarding natural resources that are vital not just for their own populations, but for the planet as a whole. Photographs of the Aral Sea's transformation tell a profound story. Drastically reduced shoreline, salt flats shimmering in the sun, and abandoned ships stranded far from the water's edge reflect both the tragedy and the resilience of communities once reliant on its bounty. Artists and documentarians have worked tirelessly to capture this narrative, ensuring that the lessons learned from the Aral Sea disaster are not forgotten. As time progresses, monitoring and research initiatives continue to assess the ongoing impact of this environmental crisis. Scientists examine not only the physical changes to the landscape, but also the socioeconomic conditions of the people affected. The region is a living laboratory that offers insight into how communities can adapt to environmental change and work toward sustainable solutions. The tale of the Aral Sea invites us to reflect on our relationship with nature and the long-term consequences of our actions. It serves as a reminder that every choice we make, especially in agriculture, industry, and urban planning, has ripple effects that extend well beyond our immediate surroundings. By learning from the experiences of the Aral Sea, new generations can advocate for more responsible stewardship of our planet's resources, prevent similar disasters, and ultimately contribute to a healthier and more sustainable world for all. Poveglia Island is a small, intriguing island located in the Venetian lagoon of Italy, situated between Venice and Lido. Despite its picturesque setting, it has earned a notorious reputation steeped in mystery and a dark history that captivates many. The island is less than 1 square kilometer in size, but it carries stories that extend back centuries. Originally, Poveglia was a place of refuge. In the 5th century, it served as a safe haven for inhabitants fleeing from barbarian invasions. As Venice grew in prominence, the island's role shifted, and it began to be seen not just as a refuge, but also as a strategic point for defense. This change marked the beginning of a complex history that would soon take a darker turn. During the 14th century, when the Black Death swept through Europe, Poveglia was transformed into a quarantine station. Ships arriving from infected areas were forced to anchor offshore, and those aboard would be sent to the island to be isolated. The concept of separating the sick from the healthy was not fully understood at that time, leading to a grim reality. Thousands of plague victims were sent to Poveglia, many never to return. The island became a final resting place for those who succumbed to the disease. It is estimated that the remains of over 100,000 individuals were interred there, creating an eerie atmosphere that lingers even to this day. The 19th century brought another layer to the island's history. In the late 1800s, Poveglia was converted into a mental asylum, which operated for over 40 years. During this time, it became notorious for its tragic practices and the treatment of its patients. Stories of inhumane experiments and the mistreatment of the mentally ill dominate the accounts of what went on within the asylum's walls. It is said that the island's residents, both the sick and the insane, were subjected to brutal conditions during their stay. The asylum eventually closed in 1968, leaving the island desolate once more. Today, Poveglia remains largely abandoned and overgrown, a haunting reminder of its tragic past. Several buildings still stand, including those of the asylum, which can appear ghostly against the backdrop of nature reclaiming the land. The island's eerie ambiance and tragic history have made it a point of fascination for urban explorers and ghost hunters alike. The stories of restless spirits and unexplainable occurrences draw those curious about the afterlife, creating a mystique around the site that echoes with tales of its historical tragedies. Visiting Poveglia Island is not entirely straightforward. The island is no longer open to tourists on a regular basis, preserving its enigmatic quality. However, some boat tours around the island do operate, allowing visitors to catch a glimpse of its haunting ruins from afar. As you approach, the stillness of the waters around Poveglia and the sight of its crumbling structures evoke feelings of both curiosity and unease. The natural beauty of the island provides an interesting juxtaposition to its grim history. Over the years, flora and fauna have begun to reclaim the land, creating a rich ecosystem filled with wildflowers, grasses, and trees. This resurgence of life contrasts sharply with the stories of death that are woven into the island's past. The sounds of birds chirping and the rustling of leaves can almost drown out the tales of despair, a reminder that nature has a way of healing, even in places marred by tragedy. Moreover, Poveglia has inspired numerous works of fiction and art, cementing its place in popular culture. It often appears in stories that explore themes of horror and the supernatural. Many authors have taken inspiration from the island's history to create tales that evoke fear and intrigue, blending fact with a heavy dose of creative imagination. As you delve into these stories, the island transforms into a canvas painted with shadows and whispers of the past. Despite the dark shadows lurking in the history of this small island, it serves as a powerful reminder of resilience and transformation. The layers of its past, ranging from a refuge to a quarantine station to a mental asylum, speak to the stories of countless individuals who once walked its shores. Today, the island stands as a testament to the complexities of human experience, inviting reflection on themes of life, death, and the passage of time. To contemplate the tales of Poveglia Island is to engage with a narrative that asks us to consider the places we create and the stories we leave behind. This small island may seem like an isolated speck on a map, but its history resonates far beyond its shores, echoing the intricacies of human existence, the impact of disease and despair, and ultimately, the possibility of renewal. As nature continues to weave its way through the remnants of Poveglia, one's imagination may wander through the stories that have shaped this hauntingly beautiful island. Would the ghosts of the past have tales of their own to tell, if only we could listen? In the year 1914, a remarkable journey began that would test the limits of human endurance and resilience. This was the expedition led by Ernest Shackleton, a British explorer who set his sights on one of the last great frontiers of the Earth, the uncharted territories of Antarctica. Shackleton's goal was to cross the Antarctic continent from coast to coast, a daring endeavor that promised both glory and danger. As the expedition set sail on the ship named Endurance from Plymouth, England, excitement filled the air. The crew of 27 men, each chosen for their skills and camaraderie, prepared themselves for the harsh environments that awaited them. The Endurance was well equipped for the journey, but no one could foresee the perilous challenges they would soon encounter. The ship made its way through the treacherous seas, facing storms and freezing temperatures. On board, the crew maintained a spirit of optimism, sharing stories and bonding over their shared mission. Little did they know, their fate would soon take an unexpected turn. In early January of 1915, just as the crew had reached the Weddell Sea, disaster struck. The Endurance became trapped in a dense pack of ice, rendering it immobile. The men initially remained hopeful, believing the ship would eventually break free as the ice shifted. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, but the ice showed no signs of releasing its hold. As winter approached, it became clear that survival would depend on their resourcefulness. The crew faced immense challenges, finite supplies, dwindling rations, and the relentless cold that turned their world into a frigid white desert. Shackleton's leadership became essential. He encouraged his men to remain focused and positive. They created makeshift shelters on the ice, relying on teamwork to keep their spirits alive. In April 1916, after enduring months in captivity under the ice, the Endurance was finally crushed by the relentless pressure of the floating masses. Shackleton and his crew, undeterred by their circumstances, were compelled to leave behind the ship they had cherished. They salvaged whatever supplies they could carry and prepared for an arduous march across the ice. The journey was fraught with peril. The crew navigated through treacherous conditions, battling extreme cold, hunger, and exhaustion. Despite the bleak outlook, Shackleton instilled a sense of hope and determination within his crew, often breaking the monotony with stories and a sense of humor that lifted their spirits. With the ice beginning to break up as summer approached, they made a daring decision to take to the lifeboats. After weeks of navigating the sea, they finally arrived at the uninhabited Elephant Island. With no signs of rescue, Shackleton understood that hope lay beyond the island, in the form of civilization. He made the difficult choice to leave most of his men behind and embarked on a new expedition with a select crew to find help. Shackleton and his small team sailed over 800 miles in the lifeboat James Caird, navigating treacherous waters and battling enormous waves. After days that felt like an eternity, they landed on South Georgia Island. However, they faced yet another challenge. The island was rugged, and their rescue mission was far from over. They had to traverse mountains and glaciers to reach a whaling station on the other side of the island. Ultimately, after a grueling journey that tested their physical and mental fortitude, Shackleton and 2 crew members reached the whaling station and were met with a mix of relief and disbelief. Their successful passage led to a rescue operation, and Shackleton quickly organized the return to Elephant Island. Remarkably, against all odds, all 22 men left behind were safely brought home. The story of Ernest Shackleton and his crew is a tale of extraordinary courage, leadership, and human resilience. Their legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity to weather extreme adversity, often with remarkable strength and camaraderie. In the end, what was meant to be an exploration became a testament to survival, and Shackleton's name is forever etched in the annals of exploration, a symbol of determination and the unyielding quest for adventure against the backdrop of one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Their harrowing journey inspires countless adventurers and dreamers today, proving that even in the face of insurmountable odds, the drive to persevere brings out extraordinary acts of heroism. In the summer of 1944, a small town in Illinois called Mattoon became the epicenter of a bizarre phenomenon that would go down in history, eliciting fear and speculation among its residents. Known as the Mad Gasser of Mattoon, this mysterious figure was said to be terrorizing the town with a series of strange gas attacks. The story is not just a chilling account of a phantom assailant, but also a fascinating chapter in the annals of urban legends and mass hysteria. The saga began on August 31, 1944, when a woman reported that she had been overcome by a strange gas while sleeping in her home. She described a noxious fragrance, akin to that of flowers, that filled her room, leaving her feeling dizzy and disoriented. Soon after her account, more residents came forward with similar stories, detailing encounters where they too were enveloped by a puzzling mist that caused symptoms ranging from nausea to temporary paralysis. The reports continued to multiply, with many claiming to have witnessed a shadowy figure lurking around their homes. Descriptions of this figure varied, but residents commonly referred to the assailant as the Mad Gasser. The idea of an unknown intruder using gas as a weapon quickly spread throughout the community. Fear gripped the town, leading many to take precautions. People locked their doors, barred their windows, and in some cases, even armed themselves, feeling the need to protect their families from a potential attack. Local authorities were inundated with telephone calls as frightened citizens sought answers. Mattoon's police force took the situation seriously, launching an investigation that included patrolling the streets at night for any signs of the elusive gasser. However, despite numerous reports and heightened alertness, no concrete evidence of the Mad Gasser was ever found. The lack of physical proof only fueled speculation and hysteria, leading to rampant theories that ran the gamut from vigilante justice to extraterrestrial life. The media played a pivotal role in escalating the situation. Local newspapers covered the story extensively, drawing in attention not just from Illinois but across the country. The narrative of the Mad Gasser became sensationalized, with some articles suggesting that the attacks were orchestrated by aliens attempting to invade Earth. The idea of an alien being using gas to incapacitate humans captured the imagination of the public and fed the existing fears of the time, particularly as World War II brought anxiety into everyday life. Several psychological explanations emerged to explain the phenomenon. As the weeks passed, researchers noted that many of the reports involved similar accounts from women, particularly those who may have experienced heightened anxiety during the war. Some experts proposed that the gas attacks might have been a manifestation of collective hysteria, where a group of individuals shared a belief that led to real physical symptoms. Psychological factors were often overlooked in the fervor of the experiences, leaving many wondering if the Mad Gasser was ever real or simply an unwitting ghost of fear conjured by a town on edge. Over time, as summer turned to fall, reports of the gas attacks began to dwindle, and the enigmatic figure of the Mad Gasser faded from the forefront of public concern. Theories shifted from panic to curiosity, and Mattoon became a curious focal point for urban legends. The town found itself woven into a tapestry of historical mystery, inspiring writers, filmmakers, and even conspiracy theorists who all sought to unravel the truth behind the Mad Gasser. The narrative of the Mad Gasser has since continued to captivate those interested in the unusual. Some consider it a case of mass hysteria, while others believe it reflects deeper fears prevalent during a tumultuous time in history. Today it serves as a reminder of how societal stressors can manifest in unexpected ways, and how folklore and urban legends can grow from the seeds of genuine fear. The Mad Gasser of Mattoon invites us to think critically about the stories we share. Whether seen as a chilling ghost story or a cautionary tale about the implications of collective panic, it underscores the power of the unknown and the human psyche. Each account serves as a piece of the tapestry that illustrates how easily fear can spread and how it can transform a quiet town into a hotbed of tension and speculation. In retrospect, Mattoon's brush with the Mad Gasser stands as a testament to the intricate dance between reality and the legends we create. No one can say for certain what happened during those restless nights in 1944, but the memory of the Mad Gasser lingers, harboring questions about the nature of fear, the unknown, and our interpretations of what lies just beyond the veil of the ordinary. Cannibal clouds are a fascinating and intense phenomenon within the realm of meteorology. When we think of clouds, we often envision soft, fluffy shapes drifting lazily across the sky. However, not all clouds are gentle harbingers of a pleasant day. Enter the world of supercell thunderstorms, where cannibal clouds reign supreme, capable of unleashing a formidable display of nature's power. A supercell is a highly organized type of thunderstorm, characterized by a rotating updraft known as a mesocyclone. These storms are the most powerful and dangerous type of thunderstorms, capable of producing tornadoes, torrential rain, hail, and severe winds. Within the life cycle of a supercell, the phenomenon of cannibal clouds manifests. But what exactly happens in this dramatic process? When a supercell develops, it doesn't operate within a vacuum. It interacts with its environment, drawing in surrounding air masses. Sometimes, these storms encounter other smaller storms. In the world of weather, the term cannibalization describes how one storm can absorb or engulf another, merging it into its own structure. This process creates what are known as cannibal clouds. Essentially, the larger storm consumes the smaller one, taking on its moisture and energy to intensify its own forces. Imagine a large, menacing thunderstorm expanding across the horizon. With its towering structures and darkening sky, it exudes an awe-inspiring yet intimidating presence. As it grows, it might stumble upon a smaller, weaker storm nearby. The larger cloud effectively, quote, cannibalizes the smaller one, absorbing its energy and resources. This interaction often causes the smaller storm to dissipate, while the larger storm gains strength, growing even more formidable in its capabilities. The results of this cannibalization can be dramatic. As the larger storm collects more heat and moisture from the surrounding environment, it often intensifies and becomes capable of producing severe weather. Residents in the vicinity might see an increase in lightning and hear the distant rumble of thunder. Torrential downpours may occur, leading to flash floods, while hailstones can tumble from the sky, some becoming as large as baseballs. These powerful storms typically occur in regions known for extreme weather, such as the Great Plains of the United States, an area often referred to as Tornado Alley. The unique geography and atmospheric conditions in this region create an environment ripe for supercells. Here, the combination of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico meets cool, dry air from the Rocky Mountains, creating the perfect setup for these severe thunderstorms. One remarkable aspect of cannibal clouds is their life cycle. As they mature, they can go through stages of growth and decay. Initially, as they begin to form, one might witness an impressive display of towering cumulus clouds swelling upward. With the right conditions, these clouds can escalate into full-blown supercells, taken to a new level by the absorption of smaller storms. This continuous cycle of energy feeding and intensifying storms showcases the incredible power of nature. The winds within supercell thunderstorms can be fierce and unpredictable. Straight-line winds can reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour, causing extensive damage to structures, uprooting trees, and resulting in dangerous debris flying through the air. The rotation of the storm creates a diverse range of conditions, leading to potential funnel clouds, the precursor to tornadoes. As these storms evolve, they often present a visual spectacle, with their massive, swirling clouds looming ominously above, capturing the attention of both weather enthusiasts and casual observers alike. Moreover, studies and observations of these systems contribute to our understanding of severe weather patterns and help improve forecasting techniques. Meteorologists analyze various data sources, including radar imagery and satellite information, to track the development of these storms and their potential impacts. This information is vital for issuing timely warnings to communities at risk, allowing for preparedness in the face of approaching storms. As cannibal clouds dissipate, the landscape left in their wake can be both breathtaking and sobering. The sky that once roared with thunder might transform into a serene, clear expanse. Yet, the aftermath can reveal the extent of the storm's power, with downed trees, damaged homes, and in some cases, the disruption of daily life. Nature, in its raw form, displays its duality, beauty and devastation intertwined. In conclusion, cannibal clouds and the supercell thunderstorms they belong to offer a glimpse into the vast complexities of our atmosphere. While often associated with destruction, they remind us of the incredible forces at play in our world. As we watch the skies, we marvel at the spectacle above, understanding that those awe-inspiring clouds can harbor immense power. Our fascination with these meteorological giants invites us to explore further the delicate balance of nature, compelling us to respect and appreciate the elements that shape our environment. In the heart of Japan, shrouded in mystery and whispers of the past, lies the infamous haunted well of Okiku. This well, located in a garden that once belonged to a noble samurai, holds a story steeped in tragedy, betrayal, and the restless spirit of a maid. Long ago, Okiku was a beautiful maid, renowned for her dedication and loyalty to her master, a powerful samurai named Tessen. The garden where Okiku tended to her duties was a serene sanctuary filled with vibrant blooms and rustling leaves. The well, a simple structure with stones covered in moss, provided fresh water that nourished the garden and the soul. Okiku's life seemed peaceful, yet beneath the surface lay a tale woven with intrigue. Okiku was particularly entrusted with caring for a set of precious plates owned by her master. They were no ordinary dishes. They were family heirlooms, each one intricately designed and imbued with a sense of history. Okiku cherished her responsibility, meticulously ensuring these plates remained pristine. Day after day, she would arrange them carefully, cleaning them with love and affection. However, fate took a cruel turn. One fateful day, while her master was away, one of the plates mysteriously went missing. Panic gripped Okiku as she searched high and low, retracing her steps and asking anyone who would listen. But the plate was nowhere to be found. When Tessen returned, he was furious. In a fit of rage, he accused Okiku of theft, refusing to believe her innocence. Desperate to prove her loyalty, Okiku insisted that she had not taken the plate. But Tessen was unyielding in his anger, and the weight of the accusation bore heavily on her heart. The tension escalated until, in a moment of blind rage, Tessen made a fateful decision. He cast Okiku into the well, believing that the depths of darkness would take her away. The chilling sound of her cries echoed in the garden, a haunting melody that still lingers in the air today. From that moment on, the well became a place of sorrow and despair. Residents of the area began to notice strange occurrences. On moonlit nights, they would hear the soft sobbing of a woman drifting through the trees, followed by the mournful wails of someone calling out for justice. Those who dared to approach the well spoke of an ominous feeling, a sense of being watched by unseen eyes. As word spread, a legend emerged around Okiku's well. People said that the spirit of poor Okiku was bound to the depths of the well, trapped in a limbo between life and death, seeking retribution for the wrongs done to her. It is believed that whenever someone visits, they may hear her counting, the numbers slipping through the air like wisps of mist. Residents claimed that the numbers always ended in 9, a reflection of her tragic fate. Countless stories have been shared by those who have ventured near the well. Brave souls recounted how they felt an indescribable chill in the air, even on warm summer evenings. Some even claimed to have glimpsed a fleeting figure, a silhouette of a woman in traditional clothing appearing at the edge of the well, her long, dark hair falling like shadows around her face. These tales only added to the aura of mystery surrounding the garden, a space that transformed into a place of caution and reverence. People began to visit not only to admire the beauty of nature, but also to pay homage to Okiku. It became a tradition to leave offerings near the well, a small flower, a piece of fruit, or coins, as gifts for the restless spirit, a way to seek her forgiveness for the injustices suffered. Generations passed, yet the story of Okiku and her well never faded. The garden remained a significant landmark, a mixture of beauty and sorrow. New families moved into the area, and tourists began to come, drawn by the allure of the haunting tale. The well became a symbol of the consequences of betrayal and the haunting power of unresolved emotions. Okiku's spirit teaches a lesson about loyal hearts, the importance of truth, and the impact of anger unchecked. As the stories echo through time, they serve as a reminder of the past and the specters that linger even in the most peaceful of gardens. The tale of Okiku is woven into the very fabric of Japanese folklore, a ghost story that continues to touch the hearts of those who hear it, urging them to reflect on their own actions and the potential consequences. Thus, the well stands quietly, a witness to the unfolding of human emotions and the intertwining of lives, forever holding the secrets of Okiku's sorrow. Those who visit can feel a sense of connection to the past, reminding them that the stories we tell and the ones we live may shape not only our present, but also the shadows that may follow us into the night. Whether it be the soft rustle of leaves or the quiet ripple of water, the whispers of Okiku remain, a testament to the enduring power of love, loyalty, and the unresolved weight of a fading heart. The haunted well of Okiku continues to echo through time, inviting all who dare to listen to its poignant tale. In the year 1932, Australia found itself embroiled in a rather unusual and often humorous conflict known as the Great Emu War. Although the name might suggest a grand military confrontation, the events that unfolded were far from conventional warfare. This peculiar episode in history centers around the emu, a large flightless bird native to Australia, known for its incredible speed and resilience. The roots of this unusual war can be traced back to the aftermath of World War I. Many Australian soldiers returned home to the southwestern region of Western Australia, where they were given land to farm as part of a government-backed settlement scheme. The hopes were high, and these veterans worked hard to establish their farms in the Mololaw region. However, they soon found themselves facing a formidable foe, the emu population. Emus had always existed in Australia, roaming the vast outback and open fields. However, due to a range of factors, including drought and the clearing of land for agriculture, their numbers surged during the early 1930s. The emus, drawn to the newly cultivated wheat fields, soon became a significant threat to the farmers' crops. Reports indicated that thousands of emus were invading the farmland, trampling down crops and causing widespread devastation, a situation that was not just inconvenient but potentially disastrous for the farmers trying to make a living. In light of this emerging crisis, the farmers sought assistance from the government, requesting help to deal with the increasing emu population. In a move that might surprise many, the solution chosen was to enlist the military. Thus, a group of soldiers armed with machine guns was dispatched to Western Australia, tasked with the job of controlling the emu problem. This military operation was not just a practical response, it was also a curious blend of military discipline and wildlife management. Upon their arrival, the soldiers quickly discovered that chasing emus was no straightforward task. These birds, reaching up to 6 feet tall and capable of running at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, proved to be rather elusive. The emus often moved in small groups and exhibited a remarkable knack for dodging the military personnel on the ground. Rather than forming a convenient target, the emus employed various tactics to evade capture and survive the assault of the soldiers. They would scatter and run in different directions the moment they spotted danger, making it challenging for the troops to carry out their mission effectively. The initial encounter was somewhat comical. The soldiers set up their machine guns and attempted to ambush the emus, only to find that the birds were far more skilled at evading gunfire than anyone had anticipated. In one of the first engagements, rather than a victorious display of marksmanship, the soldiers faced a series of misfires, and the emus seemed to dance and dash around them unharmed. The emu, it appeared, was not just a bird but a cunning opponent. As the operation continued, the troops faced mounting frustration. Despite several attempts, they found it nearly impossible to make a significant impact on the emu population. Several engagements resulted in negligible success, with hundreds of rounds fired and only a handful of emus taken down. The soldiers quickly realized that they were engaged in a battle against a foe who was not only agile, but also far more numerous than their own ranks. After a series of fruitless attempts, the government began to reconsider its strategy. The narrowly defined military operation against the emus highlighted not just the challenges of wildlife management, but also the sometimes comical nature of human endeavors to control nature. Eventually, after several weeks, the Great Emu War was called off. The military withdrew, leaving the emus to continue their reign over the wheat fields. In a humorous twist of fate, the emu population persisted, and the farmers had to devise alternative ways to protect their crops. While the emus did suffer casualties during the operation, the overall impact led to a realization that serious considerations needed to be made regarding the coexistence of agricultural practices and local wildlife. Today, the Great Emu War remains a fascinating, light-hearted chapter in Australian history. It serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of wildlife and the humorous outcomes that can arise from attempts to solve human problems through means that might seem sensible at the time. The soldiers may have left the fields, but their battles with the emus continued to be a tale told in jest, as a testament to the resilience of human spirit and the unpredictability of nature. So the Great Emu War stands as a telling example, amusing and educational, where the hopes and battles of humanity met the unpredictable forces of nature. It's a whimsical reminder that sometimes the greatest challenges come from the most unexpected places, and that our interactions with the natural world often lead to stories that are worthy of both reflection and laughter. In the year 1872, in the endless azure waters of the Atlantic Ocean, a ship drifted ominously, her sails flapping in the wind but her decks devoid of life. This vessel, known as the Mary Celeste, would soon capture the imagination of adventurers, historians, and mystery enthusiasts alike. What happened to her crew? Why did they vanish without a trace? The story of the Mary Celeste is a haunting tale that unfolds like a chapter from a ghostly novel. The Mary Celeste was originally launched in 1861, and at first glance, there was nothing unusual about her. A sturdy brigantine, she embarked on her maiden voyage across the Atlantic. Over the years, she changed hands several times, but it was her final journey that would forever brand her as a ghost ship. In November of 1872, the Mary Celeste set sail from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy. Aboard were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, along with a crew of 7 men. Their journey began, like many others, filled with hope and anticipation. However, as fate would have it, things took a bewildering turn when the ship was discovered on December 4, 1872, by the crew of the Dei Gratia. This was no ordinary discovery. The Mary Celeste was found adrift, her sails furled, the lifeboat missing, and her cargo intact. While everything appeared normal from the outside, the heart of the mystery lay within. Not a single soul was on board. The search of the ship revealed that the crew had seemingly left in a hurry. The ship's log was undisturbed, with entries ending just days before the discovery, and the last entry recording a day of calm weather. Bottles of alcohol remained unbroken, and the provisions were plentiful. Oddly, the ship's lifeboat was missing, and it seemed as though the crew had abandoned ship in an urgent frenzy. This abandonment sparked a whirlwind of theories and speculation that continues to this very day. Could the crew have encountered a sudden storm that sent them scrambling for the lifeboat? But the weather conditions were calm. Some suggested the possibility of a mutiny, fueled by rumors of discontent among the crew, or tales of Captain Briggs' strict discipline. However, there was no evidence of violence or struggle aboard, leading investigators to discount such notions. One of the more sensational theories proposed that the Mary Celeste had been cursed, a notion that struck fear in those who dared to venture into her story. Maritime lore is rich with tales of ghostly ships and ill-fated voyages, and the mystery of the Mary Celeste fit perfectly into these narratives. Was the crew simply overwhelmed by dread or some inexplicable force? Another theory revolved around the cargo the Mary Celeste was carrying. She was loaded with denatured alcohol, a highly volatile substance. Some theorists suggested that fumes from the alcohol could have caused panic on board, leading the crew to flee in fear of an explosion. Yet, again, there was no concrete evidence of fire or panic on the ship. To complicate matters further, tales of pirates have long captivated imaginations, and the thought of a pirate ambush lurking among waves could not be dismissed. However, investigators found no signs of robbery or conflict, nor were there any reports of pirates in the vicinity at that time. The mystery deepened in the years that followed, as various individuals and writers attempted to extract answers from the enigma of the Mary Celeste. The story became a part of popular culture, inspiring novels, films, and retellings, each adding layers to the original legend. Theories continued to evolve, with explanations ranging from the plausible to the fantastic. Some suggested that the ship's crew had become victims of a sea creature, while others posited that a massive underwater phenomenon had swept them away before they could react. Each theory presented its own brand of intrigue, ensnaring the curious and imaginative. In the 20th century, new light was shed upon the incident when modern forensic techniques were applied to the case. Some experts began to examine potential psychological factors that might influence crew behavior in maritime settings. They proposed that the isolation and the vastness of the ocean could have invoked a collective sense of panic, leading to the crew's rapid departure from the ship. Despite decades of investigation and scrutiny, the mystery of the Mary Celeste remains unresolved. Today the ship rests quietly at the bottom of the sea, a silent witness to the echoes of her past. The stories and theories surrounding her fate spark wonder, And the question at the heart of this enigma reverberates like one of the waves that crash against the hull of the sea. What really happened on board the Mary Celeste? The tale serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie at sea, the boundless allure of the ocean, and the tales it holds in its depths. The Mary Celeste, forever adrift in the cryptic waters of history, leaves us pondering the unknown and inviting us to explore where the waves may lead. In the dark, winding streets of Timisoara, a city deeply steeped in history and culture, a peculiar urban legend emerges from the shadows, the tale of the catacomb rats. This story captures the imagination and intrigue of those who hear it, drawing them into the depths of a hidden world beneath the city. Timisoara, known for its stunning architecture and vibrant atmosphere, has a past that dates back to ancient times. Beneath this beautiful city lies a labyrinth of catacombs and tunnels, remnants of its rich history. As locals tell the tale, these subterranean passages are said to be home to a unique breed of monstrous rats. But these are no ordinary rodents. The catacomb rats are described as being significantly larger than the ones found in the streets above, with thick, matted fur and beady eyes that seem to glow in the dim light of the underground. The origin of the legend is murky, as such legends often are. Some say that the rats grew to their enormous size due to the decomposition of the many bodies buried in the catacombs. With the nutrients in the soil and the countless generations of decay, it is said that these creatures flourished in a dark, festering environment. Others suggest that they are a product of the city's past and its stories of conflict. During difficult times when the city faced starvation, it is whispered that the rats would become more brazen and bold, scavenging the catacombs for the forgotten scraps of human life. Local sightings of the catacomb rats have sparked curiosity and fear alike. Many claim to have encountered these creatures during midnight strolls near the ancient entrances to the catacombs. Witnesses describe hearing the sound of scurrying footsteps echoing through the underground tunnels, a sound that sends shivers down the spine. Some daring souls have even ventured into the catacombs armed with flashlights, hoping to catch a glimpse of these legendary beasts. However, the darkness is thick, the air musty, and soon enough they retreat, feeling a paralyzing sense of dread wash over them. In addition to the physical description of the catacomb rats, the legends often embellish their character. These rats are said to be intelligent, even cunning, capable of outsmarting the unsuspecting adventurer. There are tales of groups of rats that seem to communicate with one another, working together to ambush anyone who dares to delve too deep. Some believe that there is a certain mystique surrounding these creatures, as they are thought to guard the secrets hidden within the catacombs. Moreover, communities near Timisoara have woven rituals and superstitions around the legend. On the eve of certain festivals, locals might place food offerings near the entrances to the catacombs, hoping to appease the spirits of the rats. It is said that if the offering disappears by morning, the rats have accepted the gesture, ensuring goodwill for the coming year. However, if the offering remains, it could be interpreted as an invitation for the rats to emerge, unleashing their nocturnal energy onto the unwary. Some historians argue that the story of the catacomb rats is also a way for the people of Timisoara to maintain a sense of connection with their past. In a city that has experienced significant changes over the centuries, these legends serve as a reminder that not everything is lost to time. The stories of the catacomb rats resonate with a deeper human instinct to recognize the creatures that dwell in the shadows, the fears that lurk just out of sight. As the sun sets and the streets of Timisoara quiet down, the legend of the catacomb rats continues to thrive. It is whispered among friends in the coziness of cafes, passed down from one generation to the next. The tales grow in exaggeration and excitement, keeping the myth alive. For those visiting the city, it adds an air of mystery. There is something thrilling in exploring the renowned streets while knowing that ancient tales linger just below in the dark passages of the catacombs. Whether or not these monstrous rats truly exist, the legend has firmly entrenched itself in the fabric of Timisoara. The stories invite curiosity for the unknown, encourage exploration, and bring a sense of connection to history. Each retelling, each bold adventure into the shadowy recesses of the catacombs keeps the legend alive. So next time you find yourself wandering the enchanting streets of Timisoara, remember that the catacomb rats may be watching from the depths below, preserving their secret world in the echoes of the stories that surround them. Throughout history, humanity has engaged in various practices that we now view through a lens of curiosity, bewilderment, or even horror. One such practice is that of corpse medicine, a fascinating and somewhat macabre tradition that thrived in Europe from the medieval period into the 18th century. This practice involved the consumption of human remains, believed to possess healing properties. As we delve into this unusual medical tradition, we will explore its origins, the cultural beliefs that supported it, and the reasons for its eventual decline. The roots of corpse medicine can be traced back to ancient civilizations. The Egyptians, for instance, utilized mummified human remains for medicinal purposes, believing that the body had unique properties even in death. This practice found its way into medieval Europe, influenced by the writings of ancient scholars such as Hippocrates and Galen, who laid the groundwork for understanding the human body and its functions. During the medieval period, the belief that human body parts could cure ailments became widespread among various social classes. The wealthy elite relied on physicians, while common folk often turned to apothecaries for their remedies. One of the most notable examples of corpse medicine in medieval Europe is the practice of using mummified remains. Ground-up bits of mummies were sold as powerful medicines thought to cure a range of ailments, from wounds to seizures. This often involved the importation of mummies from Egypt, leading to an entire trade based on human remains that had been preserved over centuries. In addition to the use of mummies, other forms of corpse medicine included consuming human tissues and bodily fluids. Many believed that human blood had potent healing properties. In fact, drinking the blood of executed criminals was considered a remedy for epilepsy, a practice that can be linked to the belief in the life force contained within the human body. Blood was also used in rituals, where it would be connected to the vitality of the human spirit. The practice did not stop at blood. Human fat, particularly from the corpses of hanged criminals, was highly sought after. This fat was thought to possess miraculous abilities, capable of treating ailments ranging from skin diseases to overall weakness. In some instances, remedies included the application of human fat directly to wounds or injuries, as it was believed to promote healing and restore strength. The fascination with death and decay, combined with the desperation for effective treatments, made corpse medicine increasingly popular. Interestingly, the demand for these products was often fueled by a desire for fame and wealth. Many charlatans took advantage of these beliefs, selling counterfeit remedies made from far less noble sources, thereby further complicating the relationship between authenticity and the growing market for human remains. The Renaissance period witnessed a burgeoning interest in science, leading to extensive research and a better understanding of the human body. Scholars and physicians began challenging accepted norms in medicine, which gradually diminished the reliance on corpse medicine. However, the tradition lingered in some form, with certain remnants of practices mixing folklore and medical belief. Additionally, the rise of the anatomical sciences also directed attention away from consuming human remains. An increased focus on dissection and the examination of the human body provided new insights into health and disease. As the scientific method gained traction, the medical community started to reject the supernatural explanations for health issues, resulting in more effective and humane treatments. As the 18th century unfolded, corpse medicine was widely criticized, particularly by emerging Enlightenment thinkers who emphasized rational thought and scientific inquiry. Emphasis shifted from the mystical properties of human remains to the exploration of the human body through observation and experimentation. This new wave of thought paved the way for modern medicine, transitioning away from the peculiarities of the past. In conclusion, the historical practice of corpse medicine reflects a complex interplay of cultural beliefs, desperation for healing, and the evolving understanding of the human body. From the mummies of antiquity to the chilling remedies derived from executed individuals, this practice offers a unique glimpse into how humans have sought to battle illness throughout the ages. As we look back on this period, it serves as a reminder of our ever-evolving relationship with medicine, healing, and our profound connection to life and death. The exploration of such practices illuminates the historical context of medical beliefs and the fascinating journey that has shaped modern medicine as we know it today. In understanding where we came from, we can appreciate the remarkable progress we continue to make in health and wellness. Göbekli Tepe is an archaeological site located in southeastern Turkey, and it holds profound mysteries that continue to intrigue historians and archaeologists. This ancient wonder dates back to around 9600 BCE, making it much older than the famous Stonehenge in England. For a long time, people believed that large stone structures could only emerge after the development of agriculture and settled societies. However, Göbekli Tepe challenges this narrative, suggesting that the capacity for monumental architecture existed far earlier than previously thought. As visitors approach the site, they encounter impressive stone pillars, some towering over 5 meters tall. These T-shaped limestone pillars are intricately carved with reliefs that depict various animals, including lions, snakes, and birds. The artistry displayed in these carvings exemplifies the skill and craftsmanship of the people who built this monument. The figures appear in remarkable detail, giving a glimpse into the worldview of the society that inhabited this ancient landscape. One of the most fascinating aspects of Göbekli Tepe is its possible purpose. Unlike other known sites, it does not appear to have been a settlement where people lived. Instead, it is widely believed to have been a ceremonial center. The arrangement of the stone circles may have held significant meaning, serving as a gathering place for various groups. This suggests a highly organized and socially complex society existed, capable of bringing together individuals for shared beliefs or rituals. A central inquiry about Göbekli Tepe revolves around who constructed such a remarkable site. The people at the time were predominantly hunter-gatherers, often moving from place to place. Why would they invest the considerable effort required to quarry massive stones and erect monumental pillars? One theory posits that the construction of Göbekli Tepe could have acted as a social focal point that encouraged the transition from nomadic lifestyles to more permanent settlements. It could represent a place of spiritual significance, serving as a catalyst for communal ties and the development of agriculture as a means of sustaining larger populations. Add to this mystery the fact that Göbekli Tepe was intentionally buried around 8000 BCE. The reasons behind this act are still unclear, but some suggest it might have been an effort to preserve the site, making it a time capsule of sorts. Over millennia, layers of earth covered its structures, ultimately protecting them from degradation. Part of what makes Göbekli Tepe so compelling is the ongoing research and exploration taking place. Each excavation reveals new information, and experts continuously analyze findings, drawing connections to other ancient cultures across the region. For instance, similarities in megalithic structures can be observed in other archaeological sites around Turkey and the surrounding areas, hinting at a shared cultural heritage. Researchers are also looking at the potential impact of Göbekli Tepe on human civilization. The social gatherings it may have fostered could have played a critical role in human cooperation, enabling societies to rally around shared beliefs. As communal activities spurred innovation and collaboration, this may have laid the groundwork for agriculture, paving the way for civilization as we know it today. Additionally, the symbolism found in the carvings of Göbekli Tepe raises questions. The animals depicted may hold deeper meanings, possibly representing totems or spiritual guides for the people. Viewing the symbolism through an anthropological lens invites us to consider the values and beliefs of a society that existed long before the invention of writing. Even though we lack decipherable records, the artistry of Göbekli Tepe communicates something fundamental about the human experience, reflecting shared myths or traditions. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe has prompted historians to revisit the timeline of human development. It serves as a reminder that our understanding of prehistory is continually evolving, and new information can enhance or challenge established narratives. As more excavations and studies are undertaken, we might come closer to unlocking the enigma of this remarkable site. In conclusion, Göbekli Tepe stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the complexity of early societies. Its massive stone pillars and intricate carvings invite wonder and curiosity, encouraging us to ponder the beliefs and traditions of those who came before us. It inspires both admiration for ancient cultures and contemplation of humanity's journey, a journey that shaped the world in ways we are still striving to fully understand. The enigma of Göbekli Tepe ultimately reminds us that history is not a straightforward narrative, but a vast tapestry woven from countless stories, waiting for us to explore and uncover its hidden threads. Aokigahara, often referred to as the Sea of Trees, is a mesmerizing forest that sprawls at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan. This enchanting woodland, with its thick canopies and silent pathways, stretches across about 30 square kilometers and is known for its unique ecosystem. The area's natural beauty is captivating, with lush greenery, dense thickets, in a serene yet eerie atmosphere that draws visitors from around the world. As you stroll through Aokigahara, you might notice the blanket of moss that covers the forest floor, creating a soft, cushion-like surface underfoot. The sound of trickling streams and the whisper of the wind through the branches provide a natural soundtrack that enhances the forest's mysterious charm. On sunny days, the light filters through the leaves, casting a dappled pattern on the ground that dances with the rhythm of the gentle breeze. Aokigahara is steeped in history and folklore. It has long been a subject of fascination in Japanese culture, often associated with tales of spirits and supernatural forces. Legends suggest that the forest is home to Yurei, spirits of the deceased who have not found peace. This cultural backdrop contributes to the forest's unusual reputation and lends an air of mystery that seems to permeate the trees. Despite its beauty, Aokigahara has become known for the tragedies that occur within its depths. It is often discussed in regard to mental health issues and the importance of understanding and compassion towards those experiencing such challenges. The Forest association with suicide is somber, and while it draws attention for this reason, it also serves as a poignant reminder of the struggles many individuals face. The landscape itself plays a unique role in shaping the attitudes and emotions of those within it. The dense trees and the quietude of the surroundings can create a retreat from the clamor of everyday life, leading some to perceive it as a place for reflection and contemplation. The atmosphere has inspired countless writers and artists, drawing them to capture the juxtaposition of serene beauty and underlying melancholia. Hiking through Aokigahara offers explorers an opportunity to connect deeply with nature. The forest is equipped with various trails, each leading to different experiences. Some paths wind alongside ancient lava flows from past eruptions of Mount Fuji, a testament to the geological history of the region. These trails often unveil hidden caves, where the air is cool and still, adding to the overall sense of calm that Aokigahara embodies. Visitors to this remarkable forest often find solace in its tranquility. It's not uncommon to hear the soft rustle of leaves, or the distant call of birds echoing through the trees. The forest is alive with life, from the smallest insects hidden in the underbrush to the larger creatures that call Aokigahara home. The diversity within this ecosystem serves as a reminder of the interconnectedness of life, evoking a sense of wonder that can be both uplifting and humbling. Moreover, Aokigahara is a place where many begin to understand the importance of mental health awareness. Discussions and initiatives focused on providing support and resources for those in need have gained traction, aiming to bring light to the shadows that sometimes envelop individuals. By encouraging open dialogue and empathy, the hope is to foster understanding and to promote healing for those who are struggling. Adventurers exploring the forest can also indulge in the beauty of the season as it changes throughout the year. In spring, cherry blossoms may bloom nearby, while summer brings a vibrant green canvas. Autumn adorns the trees with brilliant hues of red and orange, creating a picturesque scene worthy of any postcard. Winter blankets Aokigahara in white, transforming its landscape into a peaceful wonderland. Taking a step into this captivating forest can be an enlightening experience, revealing layers of history, culture, and nature. It invites contemplation and introspection, but also joy and awe in the natural world. Aokigahara stands as a testament to the complexity of human emotions and experiences, urging visitors to cherish the beauty around them, while recognizing the importance of connection, understanding, and support. As you immerse yourself in the sights and sounds of Aokigahara, allow the forest to weave its story around you. Appreciate the sense of peace that arises from the gentle embrace of nature. Remember, every tree has a tale, every path has a meaning, and every moment spent within this enchanting realm is an opportunity to reflect on life's intricate tapestry.